This is a Dragon Blazer production, and I am the little boogeyman.
All right.
This is the Boomer and Blaze Show. I am Boomer.
And I'm Blaze, and we're back, baby.
Whoa, I thought he was going to blow up for a second. We are back and better than ever. Dude, look, that new intro, we have a new logo. We have a new intro song. That intro song is fire. I'm saying that.
Respect. You found that music, and that music is so good. It works so well. I love it. I'm glad you found it. You know, now you can praise me for making the video.
The video, which is amazing. The new logo, which, by the way, is why I have my baby here, because this belt's famous now. If you've seen our new logo, it's part of the it's heavy.
I had to do some stuff because I don't know how to tell you this, Boomer, but you have no defining features on your face.
My bald head's not enough. That's not enough. You know.
Well, not when I'm trying to do a silhouette. So you have a little bit of a uniqueness to it. You're like, it was literally just black. I had to give you some creepy white eyes, which I actually really like your creepy white eyes.
I do like the creepy white eyes. Yes.
And then I gave you the belt on you because, let's face it, you always have those fake belts everywhere.
I can't grow the chops. There's no.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, that's mine. You can't.
I couldn't grow.
No twinsies. No twinsies.
It's not gonna happen.
But yeah, so you don't have any hair. You don't have any beard, goatee. Like, you have no defining features for me to accentuate on that logo. That's why you got the belt. That's why you got the belt.
Right? That
because you're the champ. You're the champ. But you know what? What I did, it works. I love it.
Everything came together.
I like that logo.
Like always, yeah. Like, and we didn't even really talk much about it. It was like, hey, do you like that? I mean, you showed me a few examples of your logo, but everything just worked out together, the song and everything. Oh, and by the way, I believe, baby. I believe
in Joe Hendry as well. Oh, love that man.
Man, it feels good to be back in the seat. Boomer's been dying to get out. He's been bottled up way too long. I even come back trying to be all professional. I got the microphone shit, the webcam.
I know. You're way. This like, I love seeing this microphone hanging down. It makes you look all professional. I think before you were just using your phone.
I was literally doing the show with my tablet and Bluetooth headset. That's how I was doing the show.
Yeah.
Before
now we're all official and stuff. My microphone's here too, but I'm using a green screen.
So he's using the green screen. I don't have a green screen, but I don't need it because I have this going on in my apartment.
Yeah, well, I don't have a good place to behind me where I need to record. There's nothing but a living room that you can't see anything.
That's one unfortunate thing for those who used to listen to the show. I always had my nerd cabinet behind me, but it's not unfortunate, but it is. I have an actual home computer now, so you can't see the nerd cabinet. It's right here.
Yeah,
you can't see that now, but there's plenty of items back here. By the way, you won't be able to see it from this distance, but that's a picture of Sheamus right there.
Sheamus
with the title, and it is autographed.
Oh,
now, I didn't get the autograph myself, but it did come with a certificate of authenticity. But the reason I bring that up is because we always talk about how when these guys come in, I hate on them and they end up becoming, a big deal. With Sheamus, I loved Sheamus right away. And when Sheamus beat Cena for his first title, I knew right then, I'm like, this guy is going to be a star. So I actually bought that. That's his first title win. That picture after he beat Cena.
That's cool.
So the point of that being, like, I just saw, especially, you got to remember Sheamus beat Cena when it was Cena's time. That was the Cena era still when Sheamus took the title off of him.
So personally, I feel I see that WrestleMania poster with Hogan like ripping off his shirt.
Yep,
what you need, you need the one that I made for the Raging Blaze show, because that one's
right, the cover art
better. That one's better. It's cover art, and quite frankly, it's not Hogan. Hey, I haven't had a year to bitch about Hogan.
It's true.
We're back.
You have it.
I got a bitch
about all you want, and at least you're bitching at Hogan for other reasons besides political ones that we won't get into because we don't discuss politics on this show.
In fairness, I hated Hogan way before I knew his political stance.
Right.
So,
that's what I'm
it
saying.
has nothing to do with that. It's because he buries people and he's a bit of a racist.
But so anyway, yeah.
We're all a little bit racist, though, aren't we all?
Yeah. And of course, there's absolutely no way. We've been gone, I don't even know how long now. I tried to, step out and get a job to better my life, and the money was great. The job sucked ass. So
mistakes were made. You should have done that.
Money's not always the best. Yeah, we thought I'd get to a point where I was going to be able to record. That's what I kept telling you, like, oh, I'm going to be my own boss, and I'll be. It didn't end up. It ended up being all I did was work and sleep.
All lies. All lies.
So money's not everything. Money's not everything. I went back to the job and back to the podcast.
You don't need a job if it takes away from this.
Exactly.
This is what matters.
That's right.
Hopefully this will be the job. Someday we have big dreams.
We're working on that. You can't tell. Come on, we already look way more professional. That intro was fire. Come on, that video.
I know, right?
That shit looks legit. Do you not see this?
It does.
Hello.
It does.
I know.
I don't know. You might want to be careful of how you're like presenting that mic. Oh, do you see this? It looks great.
We were doing like all these test runs before the show, and I was doing this just to be a smart ass, and I was talking about how I hate wrestlers that do this shit. And as much as we love Triple H, if you watch him back in the day, that shit was always right here. It's time to play the game. Like, you don't need to swallow your mic. It's cool. We can hear you.
Well, if we ever need to make fun of Triple H, we're just gonna have to do it like that.
Yeah, we're just gonna cut a promo like this. No, I'm good. So yeah, we cannot catch up on everything we missed. So much has happened since we've been gone. And there's no way we can do all that. So for those of you who didn't watch before, if you're new, welcome to this shit show. You're gonna love it. But explain just a little bit. We're going to keep what we always did. We're picking up right where we left off. We're not jumping off our timeline. We're not changing. We changed our logo. We changed our music. We changed a few things, but it's still going to be the same show. We always start off talking about whatever the fuck we feel like, current stuff,
absolutely,
movies, sports.
Because it's our show, damn it. We can do what we want.
We always start with that kind of current stuff. Then we do a little current wrestling, and then we do a feature that we have every week. And yes, it's not gone. Some of you, if you know, you know. If not, you'll hear about it in a minute. But one feature of our show we always had is still here.
And at least 2 people listening are excited about this.
Yeah. And by the way, as our number one
Sean,
let's shout out to Sean, because I know Sean, our number one fan, he's out there listening. So we go through all that bullshit, and then we watch our pay-per-view. And
it's a long list of one person.
3 people.
3 if you count us.
By golly, we're gonna get them all back. It's gonna be fun.
Back? We never had them. What the hell? We do this for fun. What are you talking about?
We do it for fun, but if we start making money, we're not going to complain about that.
No. I mean,
I've been doing some research. I'm going to try to get us famous. We're going to do it.
Hey, we've talked about this. We've talked about this many times.
The truth is that we're going out there, folks, is we don't care if 1 person listens or 1 million people. 1 million would be great, but even if 2 people, I don't care if I do want someone to listen. But the point is, we love to do this. We love to do. Of course, we would
love to make money off of this. And as you know, is hush money right for you?
Is it, folks? Is hush money right for you?
It's right for us. We're perfectly okay with it.
I'm going to jump around a little bit. I didn't make it. Go ahead and put that back up for a minute.
Put that back. Okay, we'll put that back.
We're going to kind of go a little off format for 1 second. But speaking of hush money, we know who hush money is right for. It's right for Mr. Laurinaitis. Because we read this a couple weeks ago. Johnny Boy's snitching. Johnny Boy is turning over. He don't want to go down. He don't want to go down with the Titanic. So,
and we respect that because we would lie about a murder for some hush money.
Not only that, real quick, let's
official stance of the Boomer and Blaze show.
let's clear this up right here on our show for the people that listen. I've got so mad on social media because people just don't understand. So the case that was dropped, the case that Vince settled, was not the Janelle Grant situation. It was the hush money case. So many people got confused and thought that he won the Janelle. That was not the Janelle Grant case. The case that got dropped, that got settled out of court, was this one, the hush money case. Totally different, okay? The Janelle stuff did not go away, and that's the one where Laurinaitis is ready to roll over, ready to tell what happened. So people got really confused about that. Hush money was a totally different thing. The truth about hush money was those were all women that willingly had relationships with Vince and then took payoff money. The problem was Vince used WWE money. Two separate total cases. So that's not over. That's far from over.
Those rich people really like to give that hush money.
Hush and give some over here.
I know, right?
I don't know what we're hushing about, but I'll hush. I don't know.
We just need to have some quiet sex with Vince McMahon, and then we'll get some hush money.
Oh, cut that. Cut that. Cut that. I don't know what just happened.
We are shameless.
Yeah, we are. That's
watch it on Showtime. I think that show's actually over, but
that show is over now.
Fair enough.
Anyway, that was off track, but
that's what we do.
That's what whatever we want, because this is our show, and I told you to get ready for the show, folks. I didn't know what to tell you. We're not there yet, but we get to come back on a WrestleMania, and it's WrestleMania 15, and I don't want to spoil anything for you. All I want to say is I remember this WrestleMania for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, that sounds like a great show to come back to, actually.
There's a very infamous moment that we are going to have so much. I can't even imagine where this conversation is going to go. Oh, man, I'm excited. I'm not even wrestling matches. I'm excited about some shit that happened. So, yeah, it's going to be good. This Mania should be most famous it's the first time Rock and Austin met at WrestleMania in the main event. So this is the first of the trilogy, but that's not
why.
Okay. Not why I remember this WrestleMania. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's do what we do and jump right in. And the first thing we're going to talk about is something local, because I'm sure, so for all our foreign fans across the seas, this doesn't apply to you. But there's a festival coming up. I kind of want to go to this. I think this is
Tommy
cool.
Boy Fest in Sandusky.
They're doing a Tommy Boy Fest in Sandusky in honor of Chris Farley and the show, this movie, which was based there and filmed August through the 9th.
I was wondering why they did it there, but so it filmed there.
Yeah.
Huh. I need to rewatch it because I've been to Sandusky a
Maybe
lot.
Not all of it obviously didn't film there, but that his dad's parts plant or whatever that was in Ohio. Yeah.
Huh.
The main scene of the
I'll have to rewatch it.
You need to rewatch it. It was hilarious.
I haven't watched it. It's been. He might have been still alive the last time I watched this movie. To be honest with you, I haven't revisited Tommy Boy or Black Sheep in a long time.
Wow. Yeah, I saw them actually not that long ago, just because I happened to see they were on wherever one of my services or something. And those are the kind of movies that I love them both myself, and I know you do too because you're a Saturday Night Live fan. Some people say they're stupid because they're too over the top, but
I remember loving them as a kid, but like I said, I haven't watched them since they aired or when they came out. I don't think.
I feel like if you rewatched them, I feel like you would still love them because
I feel like I would. I do love David Spade a lot. Chris Farley I like as well, but I love David Spade.
And they were so good together. They were so good. Yeah. And even those two movies, they're in both those movies together, but they're totally different characters, totally different stories. And even though it's the same guys, they still pull off being totally different characters in those two different movies. They're so funny together. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to revisit.
And I all I can picture in my head is how many guys are going to be looking like Chris Farley at this festival. You know what I mean? There's going to be Tommy Boy.
I probably could pull that off.
Buddy, I'm just saying. Road trip, we talked about that before. Boomer and Blaze on the road.
Oh, yeah. On the road. That would be cool. I wonder if this Tommy Boy Fest, they're going to play Tommy Boy. That would be a hell of a way to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in years. That would be a great way to do it.
I did not read all the details, but I would imagine there has to be somewhere at that festival they're showing that movie.
Absolutely.
Play it all the time, all weekend long, is what you would think. But yeah, I don't know all the details yet, but I just think it's cool as hell, and I would definitely go. It's not that far, right? It's a little farther for me than it used to be. You're closer than I am now, but
I used to work there.
In Sandusky?
Yeah, I used to work at Cedar Point.
That's right. You did the little Cedar Point. Do you have any? He's got a whole other podcast for you. Tales from the Dark Side.
No
employees.
No, it's not that interesting, to be honest with you.
Oh, you didn't get any good dirt? Like, it's not like cultish, like people want to believe. Like, there wasn't some secret room you all had to get. It's not dark like Disney. Is that way?
So there's some people that might be in a cult that would be would have an issue with some of it, but the part that they might have an issue with is the part that I actually loved, and that is Cedar Point hires a lot of foreign exchange students.
Yeah.
To help them learn English. So there's a lot of foreign students there, and I thought that was so cool. I loved meeting new people from different countries that I probably will never ever visit, but and talking to them about their culture. I remember when I even got my hands on, so they gave the international students a America instruction manual.
Yeah.
And I actually read some of it, and they explained certain things, like they explained how tipping works in America, because in a lot of their countries, tipping is either non-existent and they also explained doggy bags, because it was in the explanation, it was like, you are probably used to, if you go to a restaurant, you get very small amounts. He's like, but it's like in America, you get large amounts of food at restaurants, and you have an option of a doggy bag that you can take home if you can't eat it all.
Right. So
it was kind of cool to learn this kind of stuff with the international students.
I always thought it was weird. Why the fuck is it called a doggy bag? Like, I'm not a dog.
So the doggy bag thing is because, back in the day, before people ate so much, I guess, if there was leftovers that they couldn't finish, a lot of times you get a bag that they would bring their scraps to their dog, and they were called doggy bags. It's just, people probably still use it for their dogs today, but nowadays it's more about leftovers bringing home. But yeah, that's where the doggy. I don't even have to look that up. I can tell you that from just working in restaurants.
Well, I've worked in restaurants all my life too, but nobody really uses the term doggy bag anymore. But I just
a to-go box is what they say nowadays.
I think I like the way I like that shit bag. That's what I think of it.
Well, that's not what that's for.
Stop doing this stuff. What's going on today? That's going to turn to the wrong podcast.
Right. So let's go to the next.
All right, we're gonna stay on movies. Oh, I hope you have this queued up. We did all this preparation. Do you have this queued up to go to?
Let's talk about the other one, and then I'll queue it up while you're talking.
So
Sound good?
We'll go to Superman. That's where we're going then, right?
Let's go with Superman.
Okay. Yeah. While you look for the other one to queue it up. This is going to be like, I think it's been a long time that I can remember that I'm super, like, this is going to be the summer of movies.
I'm super excited. Oh my gosh.
They're just banger after banger after banger scheduled to come out. I mean, we don't know if they're good yet, but the point is the schedule is packed with a ton of great movies. And of course, the first one on the slate is Superman from James Gunn. I've loved every single trailer I've seen. There's a lot of haters already, but
oh yeah, a lot of people who really loved Zack Snyder's, which is weird, because the reason why Zack Snyder's did not survive is because it didn't do well at all. But now supposedly everyone loves Zack Snyder's.
It's because everybody loves Henry Cavill. But the truth is, now
I like him too. Don't get me wrong.
Cavill did great. Snyder's vision was a great work of art, but
it wasn't
Superman.
Superman.
To be honest, it wasn't Superman. Even the one with
too dark.
Even the one with Brandon Roth was more Superman than Zack Snyder's were. They were too dark. Yes, exactly. They were too dark. That Superman was never that. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you've seen the story about the tights in this movie, but it was actually I can't remember this actor's name. New. I can't remember the guy playing.
David Cornsweat.
He was the one that actually talked James Gunn into the tights because he said in the comic the reason Superman dressed like that is because he didn't want kids to be scared of him. What people forget is Superman's a fucking alien, people, but he didn't want humans to be scared of him. That's why he wore the trunk, the cape. He's not wearing that because he has to. Superman could do what he does in his fucking jeans and his wife beater if he wanted to.
Absolutely.
The point, other than hiding his identity, was Superman wanted to look like a hero and a good guy for the kids. So it was actually the actor who talked James Gunn into the trunks and keeping the trunks.
I love the trunks.
And by the way,
the trunks.
That's the one thing I didn't like in Snyder's, besides it being too dark. I wasn't a huge fan of the outfit. That wasn't Superman.
No, it looked like an armor, and Superman doesn't need no damn armor.
It almost reminded me of, not as bad, obviously, but it just reminded me of when Ryan Reynolds got fucked over in the Green Lantern with that horrible CGI.
It baffles me.
It wasn't Superman. Everybody hated it when, like you said, they hated it when it was out, and now someone's trying to do it again. And it's James Gunn, by the way, who has a great track record so far with these things. Hello, I mean,
I know.
It's like, and I'm excited about it. We're getting fucking Crypto. Who would put Crypto in a Superman movie?
I never thought I'd get Crypto in a movie.
Never.
This Lex Luthor looks devious, and I love it. He looks great.
And there's so many little teasers in that trailer of who we don't know exactly who they are yet. Like in the one trailer, you see that figure. He's fighting with like the long hair and the red eyes. And some people think it could be Lobo, and some people think it's Ultraman in a different and he also, by the way, Gunn said there will be little snippets of different universes and shit in here. Like I'm stoked for it. I don't know what all the hate.
I'm excited. I love that we're getting Guy Gardner on screen. I used to read Guy Gardner comics. I loved Guy Gardner. He's such a douchebag, and they make him look like a douchebag. And I love the actor as well.
Exactly. I'm excited.
Nathan Fillion. I love him.
Another one, a little Easter egg I saw in the trailer was the green baby, the little green baby, which I believe is going to be Metamorpho's child. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. I mean, that green baby can't be random. There's a scene where Superman's holding a tiny green baby in the trailer. So
it looks good. I know there's also rumors that there is going to be Ultraman, and underneath the Ultraman costume is going to be Henry Cavill. Yeah. And they're going to bring him back as Ultraman in this world.
I mean, even I'm guessing that the one person you see in the trailer that's dressed in all black with a mask and has, it looks like there's a U on his bodysuit. That, a lot of people think that's Ultraman. Who knows? But I'm excited for it. And I still, by the way, have not been back to the theater since the pandemic. But I feel like this is something that needs to be seen in the theater. Superman. This is something you want to see on the big screen.
I want to see this and Fantastic Four in the theater, and quite frankly, the new Jurassic World.
Yeah, all three are coming out, bam, 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 back to back.
Have you seen that they've been trying to do like a Barbenheimer situation
with these,
like Jurassic Super Fantastic or something?
Yeah, something like that, dude. I'm on the same page with you for Fantastic Four. I love they're going retro with it. I think they're finally going to. But
I'm just
wrong. I didn't hate the original ones with Michael Chiklis and those guys. The second one, the Silver Surfer one, they fucked up, and then I didn't even try to watch that last one because I heard it was horrible.
I've seen all of them. I'm looking forward to a possibly good Fantastic Four. I've never been a big Fantastic Four fan. As a kid, like they weren't one of my favorite heroes. I didn't read any of their comics, but I still would like to. I mean, we got a good freaking Iron Man and Ant-Man.
I wasn't a Fantastic Four fan, but I'm such a fan of the superhero movies. Like when the first one came out, I was like, yeah. Wasn't like I love the Fantastic Four, but I'm like,
yeah.
I want to see that. Hell yeah, bring it on,
But my point is somehow Marvel gave us Guardians of the Galaxy, which I've never even heard of. I'm a huge comic book nerd. Never heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and now they're one of their most populars.
Yeah, and I knew of Guardians of the Galaxy, but even with everyone in the cast in my head, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. But no one cared.
Amazing.
Who did Guardians?
Who did Guardians?
Who made that?
Was it James Gunn.
It's the same guy doing this. Like, come on.
And everybody's concerned about so many characters. James Gunn knows how to work a bunch of characters. That's his bread and butter.
My only little legit complaint I had so far since they announced this movie and blah 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 is I'm still not, and it's such a minor thing. I don't know about that S. I don't know about the logo. It's still kind of.
It don't bother me.
It doesn't. It's not that big of a thing to bother me
because they've really hammered home recently.
Different though, that's the.
Well, it's actually based on comic books. I believe that S is actually in there.
Yeah,
but
you just have to get used to it. It's just a thing so weird of seeing, like, it's just totally different. I'm not hating it. I just that is. That's all.
I want to say it's based on Kingdom Come Superman. So it's got comic book lore. And here's the thing. They have really been kind of pushing that it's not an S, it's the Krypton symbol for
hope.
Which,
by the way, is true. That is true. It was never supposed to be. It looks like an S.
I'm pretty sure it's been retconned because when it first came out, it was an S, but they've retconned it a long time ago. That is the Krypton symbol of hope, which technically makes sense. I'm like, who calls themselves Superman?
This logo actually makes more sense. It doesn't look specifically like a S. So.
But it looks close enough that it still works.
Yeah. So I'm excited about. James Gunn actually said the other day that it's amazing in 3D, and they are releasing it in 3D.
I think I gotta watch it in 3D. All right. Well,
that's expensive, but it might be worth it.
All right. Well, we want to try to keep this within an hour, so
we need to quit talking then.
Yeah, let's go to the next.
Yeah, let's move on. Trailer real quick because we've discussed this movie before. Did you pull that up? Are we ready for that?
I did.
We don't even got to put that. Yeah, we can just play it. We are going to watch a trailer for the new Naked Gun.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted Spaceballs.
There is no trailer for Spaceballs.
There's a teaser, but let me get you Naked Gun. Sorry. I thought you said Spaceballs.
No, I did say Naked Gun. Because we talked about Naked Gun before on the show.
Well, let's watch this.
So let's watch this trailer.
Thanks.
I love that.
Once you kill a man for revenge, there's no going back. A voice in your head saying over and over. That is awesome.
Who are you?
Drebin. Detective Frank Drebin. Thanks.
Police Squad has always been the elite of the elite.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
I still love that. I still love it. It's
and
so
you,
good.
Frank, are the best of the best.
Need a bathroom. I need this room immediately.
There's a line, man.
Police business.
And he just continues the food.
Oh, I'm gonna ruin another suit.
Over here, Lieutenant. I think someone murdered my brother.
Please, take a chair.
Thank you.
Okay. That's such a good joke.
This is what I do. Says you served 20 years for man's laughter.
Must
have been quite the joke.
Must have been quite the
We're
joke.
going to shut down Police Squad if you do not solve this case. Do this by the book.
Show a little respect. Why? Who's gonna arrest me? Other cops?
Yes.
Is she serious?
Is he serious?
No.
It seems Mr. Drebin might be more of a problem than we thought. I want you to keep an eye on him.
Austin Powers joke.
Rest assured, I won't stop until I've found justice.
What do you want, little one?
Your ass. Nobody messes with Police Squad.
We've upgraded your car with the most advanced crime-fighting tech.
Drive forward 30 feet. Pretty smooth.
Oh!
This place is falling apart.
Oh, so good.
Dude.
Oh, I am
Oh, yeah. The Naked
so
Gun
excited.
joke, like it reminds you of a Naked Gun. Like
It does. And Liam Neeson was such a perfect
I know what I
person to do
would
it.
have never thought of him either. Like I would have never thought.
It's perfect though because he's doing exactly what Leslie Nielsen did, where he's playing it straight. He's being as serious as possible. It's like he's not in a comedy, which is what I loved about those movies. Is he doesn't realize everything else around him is ridiculous. It's great. It's absolutely great.
I'm saying all these.
We've got some great movies coming. We do.
The big announcement.
I hope
that you almost showed the teaser for, but we're both very excited for is the Schwartz. The Schwartz is returning. The Schwartz is coming out not till 2027, but we are finally getting a sequel to Spaceballs, and everyone's coming back that's still alive.
Which is insane because, I mean, let's face it, Mel Brooks ain't getting younger. He's 97.
Crazy, though, that he's still there to return, but John Candy is not.
John Candy's been gone since the first movie, I think, came out.
Is not, but yeah, he'll be back. Rick Moranis coming out of retirement. That's huge.
That is huge. I mean, we haven't seen Rick Moranis in forever.
That tells me, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's a money thing. To me, that tells me that Rick must really respect Mel and must have loved the role playing.
I think he does.
You know that the man's been gone forever. Like he even turned down some Ghostbusters stuff. So I'm excited for that as well. It's gonna be the year of movies, man.
Maybe it was Mel's dying wish. He's like, "Hey, Rick, I'm 97. I'm dying probably tomorrow. Can you come back for Spaceballs?"
I kind of feel like since the pandemic, this might be the biggest movie release time we've had since the pandemic era. There's a lot of fire coming, man. Better duck.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited.
All right. We're gonna move on to, and I don't know, we didn't discuss off air if you even know this, but Prime Video is bringing back American Gladiators, and the host is The Miz.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was Baby Miz saying awesome. So yeah,
Baby
American Gladiators coming to Prime, and The Miz is the host. So by the way, this kind of ties into something we're talking about later, but there were some people trying to share a rumor that Miz left WWE. Miz did not leave. They didn't let him go. Miz is just going to be gone to film American Gladiators, and he will be back.
Fair.
And they announced all the gladiators, and I would say I don't know them all, but the majority of them are former wrestlers, or at least quite a few of them. It looks like there's a couple of ex-boxers in there too, but I'd say the most famous one that was made a gladiator would be Wardlow. Former AEW star Wardlow is going to be an American.
Really?
Gladiator. Yeah, that's Wardlow right in the middle, actually, with his mouth open there in the middle of the face. That's Wardlow. Beside Wardlow, the guy with the mustache, that's Rick Boogs, if you remember him. He was a sip of coffee. Yeah. The guy on the other side of Wardlow used to be in TNA. I can't remember his name off the top, but you see in the back there's a guy with boxing gloves on, so I'm assuming he might be a mixed martial arts guy, but so they're all athletes, just like, because in the original one, all those people weren't necessarily athletes. Some of them were just bodybuilders. A couple of them just happened to look really good, and they made them, gladiators. So we'll see what happens. This is the second time they brought it back. I don't know if you remember the first time they brought it back. Hulk Hogan and Muhammad Ali's daughter were the hosts.
Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like somewhere in the early 2000s they tried bringing it back. And it was
I remember it sorta, and I remember loving it as a kid, but I don't think I watched that version. I might watch this.
Yeah, I might give it a shot. I've actually watched. I forget what one of the streaming services has American Gladiator on it, and I watched the documentary about it. Ooh, some people really got fucked up on that show, especially at first, and they really didn't know what they were doing. Like some people got seriously hurt on that, gladiators and contestants. So. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah.
There's some people in TKO that are upset because Miz is on there with people from other promotions. I'm like, who cares? What does it matter?
Maybe that's why they had to do reports that the Miz.
Well, the thing to me is,
WWE.
To my knowledge, I don't think any of these people are under contract with those companies anymore. I could be wrong, but who cares? It's still something.
I'm not sure either.
I'll give it a shot. So, all right. Well, since we're trying to keep things short on the comeback here, we'll move on to wrestling. And the first thing we're talking about, I'm sure thrills you because your all-time favorite wrestler returned last night on Raw to confront Gunther. And yeah, Goldberg's back. Goldberg's back.
Hell.
Yes,
No.
back again. By the way,
who's next? I wish it wasn't anybody that is associated with Goldberg.
Just real quick, we didn't get to talk about this either. Of course, we haven't been podcasting, but of course, we all saw Gunther defeat Jay on Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, because I know too much, I already knew this was the reason they did it, and I don't understand why. Look, I get it. We wanted Jay to have, you guys wanted Jay to have a longer run. Jay losing the title on Raw didn't hurt Jay. It's just going to make him more over. It's not going to hurt him at all. I was hoping you would break that out. I had that thought in my head too. I was hoping you'd break that out. So the real reason they did it is because Triple H decided he wanted Goldberg. Goldberg versus Gunther has been planned since the beginning of the year for this main event because it's in Atlanta, Georgia. And Triple H decided he wanted it to be for the title. So that's why they did this. Plus, when you switch a title like that on Raw to make people think anything can happen. And the honest truth is the numbers have not been that good for Raw on Netflix. They have not been what they expected. So
I didn't hate Jay losing just because, like, I don't know. I haven't got into Jay like everybody else is. I think yeet is probably the stupidest catchphrase I've ever heard.
It works, don't it?
It works.
When he
it works. The fans love it, but
the fuck out of shit. And the person that I can't believe, did you see Rikishi crying about this? Like, Rikishi just needs to shut up. Your son's not 7 years old. Do you not know how wrestling works? He said anyone writing for Jay should be fired because they didn't give him a chance.
I mean, they let him beat Gunther, which in my eyes, Gunther is the biggest star wrestler. Like, I don't know about star, but you know what I mean? Like, he is
it was a huge win that most people thought wouldn't happen. And not only that, who cares?
Gunther,
give me a WWE. I don't care if I win the world title for a fucking week. I can still say I was world champion, can't I?
And honestly, did you ever think Jay Uso was going to get to put on his resume that I am the world champion of wrestling?
I like
WWE.
Jay's not a world. I like Jay.
I could see him being the TNA champ.
Of course, Rikishi was like, they didn't give him a very long intercontinental title run. He's like, this dude, he got one though, didn't he? He beat Gunther.
He beat someone that he had no business beating. I'm sorry. I like Jay.
Tap out.
I like Jay, but Gunther is the mountain to climb, and he climbed it and beat him at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, everything afterwards is icing on the freaking cake because
he could have lost the title the next night, and it still wouldn't have mattered.
Right,
because of that moment. We all know this is a business for Rikishi.
Yeah, exactly.
Work. It's a work, dude. You know that. And
he got it for a couple months.
And he tried to say this shit in this interview about how they treat his family. How they treat your family. Roman had the longest title reign fucking ever.
Your family's also The Rock. I don't want to hear
you're one
shit.
fucking kid. You're not saying nothing about Jimmy, who isn't doing shit on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Doesn't treat your family right. Come on. We'll get to The Rock in a minute too. But anyway, so here we go.
The last WWE game literally had an entire bloodline mode.
Yeah.
An entire every match is focused on bloodline. And not only that, but they decided to change who wins.
Yeah.
So all bloodline members win in the bloodline mode. Like they change history for that mode.
By the way, like I'm not trying to hate Rikishi, but you bring it on yourself. You're only in the Hall of Fame because you wore a G-string and fucking danced with Too Cool. Because that's what you're known for. What else did you do?
Not a damn thing.
You fell off a Hell in a Cell after Mick did into a truck that had a bed of fucking straw in it.
Yeah, not a damn thing. Sorry.
His son's already accomplished more than you. Because he's also one half of the greatest tag teams ever, which, by the way, the rumor is they're planning on they're going to run it back with the Usos. And there's nothing wrong with that. Put them back together. Next time they split, Jay can still have a singles run. Like
maybe give Jimmy a singles run. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. They're not even doing anything with Jimmy. Jimmy's on SmackDown, but he hasn't really been pushed. So anyway, that's Rikishi's problem. We're gonna move on from that, and we are gonna talk about King of the Ring real quick, which by the way is in Saudi because it's at Night of the Champions. And I think, to be honest, because I know you don't like these pay-per-views, and a lot of people don't because it's blood money, whatever. I'm not going to get at all that. But the truth is, if this wasn't in Saudi, I don't think this is the Final Four we would have. When's the last time you saw Randy Orton in a fucking King of the Ring? And what blows my mind is, I'm not complaining. Like, this is great. Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and Cody are the Final Four. I haven't heard anybody say anything about there being a stipulation where the winner gets the title shot, but I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. Because why else would all these guys be, trying to fight? Even Randy said, if I have to win King of the Ring to get to you, John, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm guessing they're going to tie that in. But to be honest, I think if this wasn't in Saudi Arabia, Orton and Rhodes probably wouldn't be in the Final Four. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Clearly, you had to add Uso.
I did have to add Uso. I couldn't find a graphic with Uso already in there, so I had to add.
Yeah, because he just won it last night.
Yeah. So I did that myself. It's fine.
I was just noticing the difference in the shots.
And interesting thing is, take a look at that. We have all faces. Do I smell a heel turn coming?
Interesting. That is interesting. I didn't think about it, but you're right.
Do I smell a heel turn coming from somebody? I'm not saying I know anything, but it's all babies. It's all babies. So
it's an interesting choice.
Yeah. Glad to see Sammy in that picture as well. Oh, by the way, here you go, Rikishi. Like, really? They took him right out of that and put him right in here. And look who he beat to get there. Rusev, Sheamus, and Bronson Reed.
And you have Rhodes, who is probably one of the hotter wrestlers. You have Orton, who is a legend. And you got Zayn, who is a huge fan favorite. Like, this is good company right here that Uso is now.
Yeah. And I also know for a fact that it's also a fat payday. Because they all get paid more than you normally would if they go to Saudi Arabia. So shut up and be happy your son's doing anything. All right. Let's move on to the Doctor of Thugonomics, and this is just a general talk of Cena's heel turn because we haven't, been broadcasting or podcasting since it happened.
Yeah, this is just kind of a thing we had to talk about.
We had to talk about Cena's heel turn. I only have one problem with it, and as much as I love the man, I don't know what the fuck, Rock. Like, why did you even get involved to begin with?
Yeah, it's kind of weird he hasn't been part of it.
Well, and there's so many things I'm reading that. Here's what I love about this situation. I'm going to explain it all real quick, but what I love about this situation with this whole thing is I don't know if this is a work or a shoot. And in this day and age, to be able to make people wonder, so there is a rumor. There's a rumor that there's a little tension between Triple H and The Rock. There's also rumors that The Rock wants to be the man. And they're saying this goes all the way back to you remember the SmackDown when Triple H came out and said someone forgot their role or some shit to that effect when he was talking about The Rock? Like someone forgot what their role is or something. Well, they're saying it goes way back to this. The Rock came out and said the only reason he was in an elimination chamber was because they couldn't sell tickets and he had to show up to save the day, and he never had any plans on being involved anymore after that. My only problem with that is you based Cena's whole heel turn on that moment, and then you disappeared. That's my only issue. Like,
I guess I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
Yeah, you based Cena's whole turn on it, and then you just walked away, and no one even brings it up. Punk's the only one that ever talks about The Rock on a promo. But there's some rumors that there's a little backstage heat between The Rock and Triple H. I mean, another example is you had The Rock come out and announce WrestleMania was going to be in New Orleans, and then like a week or two later, you took it away. Oh, sorry, that's not where we're going.
The Rock and Triple H's feud still lives to this day.
Yeah, to this day. Now, as far as Cena's heel run, I haven't had a problem with it. Some people complain.
I love this whiny Cena. I like it.
I love the whiny Cena. I don't mind that he cheats to win because that's what heels do.
That's what heels do. Yeah.
We did actually talk about this, and it's something so small, but my only complaint that makes it feel not quite right is him coming out in different fucking colored gear all the time. That's the only thing. And I get it, you got to sell merch, but that shit would sell whether Cena wore it or not. I feel like Cena should just be like, have a simple design, kind of like his Titan, and just be wearing all black. He could just have, imagine how those would sell. It'd be like an NWO shirt on much. Just black shirt that says John Cena. Like, take all the, and you can still sell it.
True.
Because sometimes it's hard for me when he comes out in the, like on SmackDown. The outfit distracted me so much, it was kind of hard for me to even take him seriously. Like, he doesn't need to be wearing the Fruity Pebbles stuff. That's my only complaint about the heel run. I didn't even mind. I didn't even mind they didn't change his music because I liked his explanation for it. Like, you don't deserve new merchandise. You don't deserve new music. That's my voice. You know, I didn't even mind that, but the gear, like, yeah.
Fair enough.
You know.
I agree. But, you know, I think that's just part of him saying, like, I know you want it, so I'm not giving it to you. That's how I justify that decision.
Yeah.
He knows you want it.
And I'm not giving it to you. Yeah.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get it. You don't deserve it. You fans do not deserve this cool heel Cena.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I guess to go along with that, it makes sense as why he still wears it, right? Like, I fucking hate you, but I know you're gonna buy my merch anyway. So
right.
Yeah. So I think it's been a pretty good run, and now I'm really interested with this R-Truth stuff.
Speaking of something that wasn't a work, R-Truth. R-Truth was let go for legit, and they weren't expecting the backlash they got from that. The last time I can remember, it was actually Teddy Long who talked about this, and he said, "When's the last time you remember someone being let go and they're changing their name the next day on Raw?" And the only time I remember that happening is Punk. The only other time I remember that happening is they were chanting, "We want CM Punk right away." Truth was the same thing, right away. We want truth. We want truth. We want truth. But it was actually Nick Khan got Truth to come back. And
I think you understood them. They were saying we want the truth, not wanting our truth. They just wanted the truth because they felt some lying was going on.
Did you get to see the SmackDown where John Cena said you can't handle the truth to them?
Yeah. You can't handle the R-Truth.
They were chanting that. John Cena's like, "You can't handle the truth."
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. He is going to go by Ron Killings. Apparently, this is going to be his last run. And he attacked John Cena not once but twice on SmackDown. Like, this is serious. And anyone who watched TNA got to see him do a run as Ron Killings, because we knew when he went to TNA, he couldn't be R-Truth anyway. He was Ron Killings in TNA. And actually, by the way, the first ever black NWA heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron Simmons was the first ever black world champion. But
that's insane because we all know what NWA stands for.
Yeah.
We're not saying it on this podcast. I don't want to cancel.
See, I was
canceled already, but
going a whole nother way. This guy, oh no.
I'm just saying.
Not cool.
I used to listen to NWA.
So I would think they're not going to do it. I think they're going to let Cena keep the title most of this run, but I would pull the trigger and let R-Truth win the title somehow. You could even put it back on Cena, but I would do it white hot.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get rid of it and put it back on Cena.
Right.
Especially with his whole "I'm going to be the last champion" thing.
Right. He's trying to do the walkout thing like Punk did years ago, and some people think that at some point a lot of people feel like he'll turn back to baby before the run's over with because they don't see Cena walking away as a heel.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
I would rather him, to be honest, I'd like him not to lose the title and fucking actually leave with it. And then see where they go.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
See where they go from there, Cool.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Either way, Truth's back in the picture. They are going to face each other on SmackDown next week. Obviously, it is not a title match. So I'm interested to see where it goes. Of course, Cena's next opponent is CM Punk. Of course, I would love to see Punk win, but I don't see it happening. What could be interesting, though, is when Gunther and Goldberg meet because somebody is Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think we did that part. I think we did it for the first time in a long time.
We did it.
For one other thing. And if you're familiar with our show, you'll know what this thing is. And before we share it, I just want to let you know we did not change anything about this. The graphic is still the same, old logo, and that's fine because it is time for our Chic Tweet of the Week.
Chic Tweet.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time, baby.
I think you should use that voice modulator when you do the Chic Tweet of the Week.
It's time for the Chic Tweet of the Week.
Chic Tweet. I love it. I like it.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Oh, I got another one. I didn't even know it.
Oh shit. That's the that's the button you use when you want to take someone's kid. Have your child.
I thought it only had one voice. I was wrong.
I'm gonna have to play with that later.
That's freaking awesome.
I didn't realize I had 75 different voices on that thing.
Do you know how much fun I would have with that thing?
Oh, I am gonna have a lot of fun now. I had no idea.
Oh, that is awesome.
I didn't know it had all these different options.
Oh, anyway, sorry. Sheik tweet.
It is time for the Sheik tweet. It's gonna be a different voice every week. And this week's Sheik tweet, it didn't take me long to find one either, which I love, by the way, because as we all know, unfortunately, we lost Sheik like 2 years ago, but his family has kept his page alive. And this week's Sheik tweet is, if the shoe fits, go fuck yourself.
Classic Sheik tweet. The shoe fits, go fuck yourself.
Right. We love the Sheik, and in honor of the Sheik, and I discussed it with the co-host, we decided not to change this graphic at all.
No, it's a good graphic.
Like actually, when he first passed, we weren't even sure if we keep doing this, but thanks to the fact that he was on Twitter a long time and his family is actually still keeping it alive, we're always gonna have a Sheik tweet. So there you go, the Sheik tweet of the week, dude.
Sheik tweet.
Can't believe my new button. I'm gonna have to play with that for. I didn't even. We did all these test runs. We did all these test runs this morning, and I didn't even realize that one. So, all right, so we're ready. We're ready for our pay-per-view.
Oh my gosh!
With a Mania. WrestleMania 15. Rock and Austin.
For the first time at
And
WrestleMania.
No DQ.
Not, yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's the first in the trilogy. Yeah. It's the first in the, and they're still to this day the only wrestlers who have wrestled 3 main events at WrestleMania. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They weren't in a row, though. I can't remember the exact ones. There was a gap between the second one and the third one, but yeah. So there you go. And there's the cover art, which I've missed.
Oh, yeah. I do like making my cover art.
Like it. All right, well, let's do it. Let's watch WrestleMania 15. By the way, let's get a good laugh in, because did you notice what the tagline is for this WrestleMania?
No, because I found a cover art that didn't have a tag. I wanted to put us in there, so I got rid of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is WrestleMania 15, and the tagline is Raging Climax. I can't even make that up.
I mean, this is around the time that we got bigger, longer, and uncut, too. So, it's par for the course in 1999.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to get ready to rage in climax. That sounds weird. I don't know. Mom, I downloaded the wrong Peacock. It's the wrong service.
Yeah, well, things happen.
Let's do it. Let's watch some wrestling. All right, so here we go. WrestleMania 15. And by the way, this is March 28th, 1999. And we were in the First Union Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And this attendance is just so funny to me. It shows you how much wrestling's changed. We have 20,276 people here. 20,000. You get more than that at Raw now. 20,000 people were jam packed, and we had Boys to Men there. Boys to Men again. Makes sense right there in Philly. So the Boys to Men sung. Where did they sing the national anthem, or was it
America is the Beautiful? America the Beautiful.
I know.
I love Boys to Men, and they did it beautifully. They really did.
Oh yeah, Boys to Men can actually sing, kids. But before computers did everything for you, they have voices.
Yeah.
And we kick it off with some hardcore. How about that?
Hardcore.
We had a hardcore triple threat. Remember, kids, it's not gay in a 3-way. Well, this one might.
It is not. It's not gay in a 3-way. Actually, it's a 4-way because you forgot about head.
I was about to say the first thing we got was head. We got head right away. This WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. What does everybody want?
Hey, you get Boys to Men.
And head.
And then you get head. This was a fun way to kick off WrestleMania for sure. I'm always about a hardcore match. Here's a little fun backstage fact for you, though. Billy Gunn hated hardcore matches and never wanted the title. They went to put him on, and then he found out he had to do this, and he's like, "Fuck,
damn it,
really? Hardcore Holly and fucking Al Snow, fuck."
Yeah, 2 of the most hardcore wrestlers in the biz.
Hello, Hardcore Holly.
Billy Gunn's like, just beat me quick.
Right.
You 2 beat each other and you can have the title.
We saw hockey sticks, brooms, and chairs and tables. Oh my.
And kendo sticks. Oh my.
Kendo sticks.
They really liked those kendo sticks back there in the 90s.
Not only that, we're still in that era where they're like, chair shots are fine. It's fine. It doesn't
It's
matter how hard
fine.
it cracks your fucking unprotected skull. Like, dude, that Famouser, I don't think he protected himself when he took that Famouser to the chair.
No.
I don't think his hands were up. He was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to eat that chair. It's okay.
So hardcore or Billy Gunn didn't like hardcore matches, so he wasn't so much of a badass, if you will. So thank you.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was Mr. Ass, but not a badass. No, great way to start off WrestleMania, that's for sure. And I actually, we had a couple dark matches, and I was like, "Where are these matches?" But Sable wrestled on the dark match, so we didn't get to see any Sable.
Oh no, puppies!
We missed the puppies.
And we missed the puppies.
The other one was some tag team match nobody cared about. So anyway,
what was it? I'm curious now.
I got to look. Right, I had it pulled up.
And was Sable in a match, or she just showed up?
It was in a match, and actually, I have a backstage fact about that. When this match got moved, so no, it was Jacqueline Ivory. Never mind, Sable's later. Jackie and Ivory were the dark match. My apology. And the other one was D'Lo and Test beat Draws and the Godfather to become the #1 contender for the tag team titles. So,
okay, that's people I know.
We have Test now.
Test. We do have Test. Yeah, I'm sure.
Testies.
Nothing bad happens for Test. He doesn't lose any girlfriends or anything like that.
No.
Him and Triple H are best friends.
Best friends. He doesn't lose his job and take his own life.
No,
not at all.
Nothing bad happens to Test.
Nope.
I think we're testing his patience.
Oh,
you need drums. You need a drum thing.
But bad joke button at. This guy.
We're back. I'm glad we're back.
Me too. And this was a fun way to start. And I guess we didn't say it, but Hardcore ended up winning. But he stole the fucking pin that Billy should have got. Billy performed Famouser, and then Hardcore came in with a chair and took the pin.
Actually, based on what you just told me, I'm guessing Billy was like, "There's a Famouser. Go ahead and take the title,
please.
Be my guest.
Get this shit off of me.
Be my guest. Be my guest. Take my Famouser off the test. Off of Test. Anyways.
Whoa, now we're getting a whole different. Head also got involved in the match, but it wasn't enough to help Al Snow win. So
yeah, we got some head.
Wasn't a long match, but it was nice and fun, and it got the crowd excited right away. Actually, Hardcore. I'm pretty sure Hardcore is the heel, and it seemed like they were into Hardcore. And I'm pretty sure
his name's Hardcore Holly. Of course, they were 90s fans really like that super violence. Hell, 2025 fans still like that violence. We're violent people.
Even though maybe he wasn't the biggest star, like Hardcore was just one of those guys that everything looked real. And to me, he looked like one of the people that you didn't want to fuck with in real life. Like Hardcore just looks like you probably don't want to.
I was with him.
And I've heard stories that he was a legit, badass backstage. Like he wasn't somebody to piss off. So, but anyway,
I would want to mess with Al Snow, like going around talking to a mannequin head. I don't want to mess with him either for completely different reasons.
I heard Head's way tougher though. I heard Head. Yeah. Head.
But I do have a special place in my head for in my heart for sorry, I slipped the tongue.
Head on the mind.
I have a slight I have a special place in my heart for Al Snow and Head because for 10 years I worked at the Trail of Nightmares carrying around a severed head that I call Sally. So
that's good. You and Sally have that special relationship. Yeah.
You can't I can't tell you how many times I brought myself up with the head and overhead and what does everybody want? The few wrestling fans that I worked with really appreciated that one.
I'm sure they did.
They did.
Yeah, nice fun way to start the pay-per-view. Hardcore Harley walks out champ, and it was fun and entertaining. Obviously, this wasn't a wrestling match; it was a fucking hardcore match, and I enjoyed it. And Head was out there too, so I'm gonna give this 3.5 Famousers.
I'm giving it 3 head jobs.
Wrong podcast.
No, after this match, it's the right one. Wink.
Hush money. All right.
You get caught in the hush money.
Let's. Ooh, that got uncomfortable really quick. I don't know. Where's the assistant? Do we still have one?
We never did.
My bad. All right.
Fake news. Anyways.
Breaking news. All right. Well, let's see what's next. All right. So next we have a match for the WWF Tag Team titles, and it's D'Lo and Test who won the dark match earlier to become number one contenders. Interesting too that they in the video they showed it looks like these two aren't getting along so well as a tag team, and they also came out separately. But D'Lo does have a new interest now, and he shed all the nation stuff, which that might have happened the last pay-per-view. I'm not sure, but anyway, their opponents are.
Well, I was just about to say that this partnership must have lasted so quickly. I don't remember it.
I don't remember it at all either. And they are facing the team of Owen Hart and JEFFJRREDD Jeff fucking Jarrett. I can't escape.
I know your favorite.
Motherfuckers are following me. I do remember Owen Hart and Jeff being a tag team. I do.
Yeah,
but I do not remember Test and D'Lo.
I think I remember Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett. I think part of that is you tend to remember the people you hate.
Yeah. And D'Lo Test had Jacqueline. No, not Jacqueline.
They had both Jacqueline and Ivory.
Yeah, Ivory was with them, and then of course
I think they're PMS. No, that was. They said that was their tag team name on the show. I'm not being a dick. It's the '90s. They used PMS as a title, tag title.
And later on, we're gonna TNA.
Yeah.
With Trish and Albert and Test.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck they call them. Not TNA. They call them Tits and Ass. Yeah. TNA. Anyway. Tag team championship match, and Deborah also barely had anything on it. It was sequenced. She looks like a Vegas showgirl, kind of. What's happening there?
Did you say a bigot showgirl?
Yeah, Vegas. Sorry, Vegas.
Vegas. She's like a showgirl, but she only dances for white people. That's what.
Sorry, D'Lo.
I was trying to say.
I'm man out. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Well.
Not a bad match. It was quick. It was a quick match.
It had a really cool end, though.
Yeah,
I think you were talking. You thought I was talking about that sidewalk slam,
but you were talking about the ending.
I was talking about the drop kick off the top rope into the sunset flip pin
for the win. Yeah,
it was a cool ending
because the cat fight broke out outside. You know, the bitches got into it, and the ref wasn't looking. And yeah, Owen hit a beautiful drop kick that turned into a sunset flip for him to win, and then D'Lo and Tess got into it, and I think they're done already.
It doesn't look like they lasted long. They won one match in a dark match, and then they're done.
Like, look, you want a Mania moment? Like, come on. Oh wait, hold on. D'Lo's dad's on the phone. He'd like to bitch about the booking.
D'Lo was distracted because Deborah was dancing around in a KKK outfit, but only the hood.
She might as well have
had only the hood. Those tatas are.
I'm pretty sure the rest. I'm pretty sure the rest was made out of spaghetti. That's what the rest of that outfit was. It was just spaghetti noodles. Like there was not Oh, there was a match. I thought it was just Deborah out there.
Yeah. She looked a little oily. That was the tears of all the black people she was upsetting. You know, this is not right. This is wrong because I don't think they made any kind of indication that she's racist. I'm just basing this on the little comment snoofa that you just made.
My snoofa. It's my fault.
Yeah. Sorry, Deborah. We're not trying to say you're in the KKK.
Not at all.
I'm just being a dick.
At least he admits it. So, not a bad match. It was quick.
I am Blaze, and you know what I do.
You are. You fucking heel. Shame on you. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't that long of a match, and I kind of didn't care. I mean, it was fine. There were some good spots because D'Lo's amazing in the ring. Test isn't bad, but it just felt off because even everything they showed us, it didn't feel like D'Lo and Test were a tag team at all. It just feels like they threw them together and said, "Here you go, have a tag team title match." So, I'm gonna give this 2 puppies. Even though there were like 6 puppies out there, but
I'd probably give this lower, but because of the end, I'm gonna go with 2 as well. Yeah, 2 sunset flips.
It wasn't horrible, but I think I've said before where it kind of felt like something you would have saw on Monday Night Raw. It
It didn't feel like a Mania match. Nothing made this
No.
feel like Mania except
This did not look like. I think this is just filler.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. There were a few things I would have liked to have felt in that match, but anyway.
This is the Dragon Ball Z episode where Goku and Piccolo decide to learn how to drive a car, despite the fact that they can fly.
They thought
and don't have jobs.
They thought everyone needed to go get a beer and a hot dog after that hardcore match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Break.
They needed to get a beer and a hot dog during the match, not after.
Well, you thought this was quick. What's next is quicker, and I know what's next. And it's the first infamous moment of this WrestleMania.
I swear it never happens like this.
This is a real quick one. All right, so next we get the finals of the Brawl for All. Now, here's a quick history, just a real fast one for those of you who didn't know about this or never saw it. They decided once the WWE it was a good idea to have a legit shoot fight. Boxing.
I was about to ask if that was real, and I assumed it was real. And the reason why I assumed it was real is because if it wasn't real, Vince McMahon was going to have one of his wrestlers actually win.
Right.
He wasn't going to have him lose.
The other reason that it was real is because this whole thing was made for Dr. Death Steve Williams, who they had just signed. Because JR was like, he's the baddest man in the world. When you have this Brawl for All, they didn't expect Bart Gunn to knock out every fucking person they put in front of him.
Wow.
He knocked out JBL, he knocked out the Godfather, and he knocked out Dr. Death Steve Williams. So this whole shoot fight, the guy it was made for ended up getting knocked out.
They expected it to be Butterbean and Dr. Death, huh?
Yes, this whole tournament was made for Dr.
Now,
Death.
did Butterbean have to fight him as well, or he just was the final?
Butterbean was the finalist. It was almost like the old Mortal Kombat thing. He was the final.
Oh, it was going up a ladder, not
he didn't have
an actual tournament bracket. Got it.
Yeah, and I think there was a purse, like an amount of money they put on it back then in the day. But yeah, the whole thing was legit. JBL actually in an interview said he had never put on a pair of boxing gloves in his life when he had his first match against Henry Godwin in this tournament. So these guys were not prepared for this. They were showing all the judges and stuff before it started, and we saw Gorilla Monsoon, who was looking not so good. This was Gorilla's last appearance on WWE TV before he passed away.
Even 99, Gorilla Monsoon was quite up there.
Yeah, he got a hell of an ovation too. But yeah, this was his last appearance on TV. But what we watched was not a match. It was the final Brawl for All.
It was a slaughter.
It was Billy's dead, folks.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Billy's not dead. Bart is dead.
Or Bart Gunn. Yeah, Bart Gunn is dead.
He died so quickly that Bloomer forgot which gun it was. He knocked him into Billy.
A little backstage fact is that Butterbean only agreed to do this if they were not allowed to have. He said no takedowns. I will only do this Brawl for All if takedowns are banned. So Bart said in an interview he knew right away he was fucked because he wasn't allowed to, tackle Butterbean and take him down. Butterbean said no.
It had to be in a legit boxing match.
Fight. Well, it was, and he nailed Bart with 2 shots, and Bart went down. And for some reason, he thought it was a good idea to get the fuck back up. Was that a good idea?
Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made.
I've made a few mistakes in my life too. Not one like that. He fucking hit Bart, and I think his head went all the way around like the Exorcist. And down he went. This thing was like 30 seconds long. I don't know what. He got back up. Why did he get back up? Well,
I don't know.
He got back up, and I was like, you know what, kids? Here is your word of the day. The word of the day is concussion.
Concussion.
I don't know why he got the fuck back up. What was he thinking? Dude, I mean, I'm not saying I was ever a huge boxing fan, but I remember watching a lot of fights. I don't know if I've ever saw a fucking hit like that.
In fairness, this is a legit boxer facing a wrestler.
A wrestler who was not.
A wrestler's not. Their job isn't to box. Their job is to take hits, but not like that.
Not like that. No. The whole thing was actually a legit fight. And I can't remember who did it, but Mark Merrow was in the tournament, and you would have thought he would have advanced because he was.
Wasn't he supposed to be a boxer?
He got knocked
and
the
he
fuck out.
Still got his ass kicked.
I don't remember who did it, but yeah, he got knocked out too. So,
this was not a wrestling match, so we don't need to rank this. This was not a wrestling match.
Yeah, I think it would be disrespectful to Bart Gunn if we rank this because he gone.
If you want to rank it boxing wise, it was a fucking 10. That's how you get a match over real quick, folks. You could tell right away too. Bart was like, I think I'm in over my head. You could tell, like, first couple strikes, he was just like, oh fuck.
He was probably like, man, this boxing thing's fun. I've knocked everyone. Oh shit. You mean a real one?
He had to have some confidence because he knocked out some legit badasses on the way to this. Not necessarily boxers, but again, some badass motherfuckers. And
in fairness, he probably was like, hey, this is how I get on WrestleMania. Has he ever been on WrestleMania? Is this his only appearance? I feel like the Guns might have been in one, but
and he was probably, like you said, I mean, it had to have helped that this was a legit shoot thing, and he was not supposed. No one thought Bart Gunn was going to be the one to fucking. I think it was JBL though that actually went to JR and said, "Dr. Death's not going to win this. I don't think you realize Bart's a badass." So apparently JBL already knew the Bart was a little bit of a badass and tried to tell him, like, I don't think you're going to get the winner you think you're going to get. Let's be honest, even if Dr. Death wouldn't matter what wrestler got there, they were fucked. Nobody was getting past Butterbean. I don't know what the thought was.
No.
It would have made more sense to have a wrestler against a wrestler and have an actual tournament style instead of
but they were probably promoting a cross-platform with boxing, and that's where Butterbean came in. And they did the same thing with Mike Tyson. They were really into the boxers back then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he boxed. He came. He saw. He knocked him the fuck out. Match over. Sorry, Bart. And Bart, I don't think makes any more appearances after this. I think this was it for his. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is about it for his WWE career. He does a little bit of indie stuff, and then he just rides off.
Butterbean's like, "What do you mean you just want to pay me to beat the shit out of someone who doesn't box? All right, like, I need a sparring partner.
I drink beers and in careers." That's what Butterbean said. All right.
He probably could have drank a beer during the match and still been fine.
Probably could have.
It's like,
amazes me about it is when we saw it live, like you could tell he got the shot in, but it's hard to explain. Like it doesn't look like it's as hard as it really is. Like Butterbean made it look effortless. He was just like, psh. But then he watched the replay.
You mean he just did his job? Got it. Oh my gosh, that last slow-mo of Bart's head knocking back, I was like, he did.
I think I said to you, I'm surprised he didn't break his neck. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. Go back and watch.
No, it looked legitly.
Watch the way his neck, like, yeah.
Bart probably doesn't make any more appearances because he probably is like, look, I'm done. I retire. This is not for me anymore.
Actually, for those of you who watched the show, they did a Dark Side Ring episode on this fucking brawl, so I recommend checking that out. So,
oh wow. Okay.
So, all right. Well, let's see what's next. We should have an actual match. I think they probably cleaned Bart up by now. He's probably off the floor. All right, so next is a match to decide who gets to referee our main event, and it is Mankind against Corporate Big Show Paul White. They're not sure who he is yet.
No, they just straight up called him Big Show. Big Show Paul White.
Because this is actually, he just debuted. He would have debuted our last show that we did at St. Valentine's Day Massacres, where he showed up, I believe. At that some match, and so he's actually going to disappear for a while and come back again. This is still early. Paul White, and it doesn't take him long to realize WCW never trained him, because that's true. Like, he was never trained to wrestle. He was a world champion in WCW without any training. That's in there. Like, you're big, you'll be fine. So anyway, that's what we have here is a match to decide who's going to be the special guest referee. And obviously, Mr. McMahon would like Big Show to win because he's part of the corporation.
Yeah, he didn't even have any music. He came out to No Chance in Hell.
Yeah. No chance. Let's get right to the best spot of the match. I think we both can agree. Mankind also died tonight. Like, everybody's just dying. I don't know what's dude. Big Show dropped all of his. Yeah, so Mankind was behind him and had a mandible claw on it, and the Big Show basically was just like, fuck you.
And based on you telling me he had no training, I bet he really did that. I bet that really messed Mankind up.
It looked like he really legit put all his. Mankind was down there like, how can I breathe no air?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Fucking killed him.
I can hear mankind calling in the air tonight.
Oh no.
Air.
Oh.
He looked like he was legit flattened. It was almost like a cartoon, just like a steamroller. Holy crap. And then they showed the replay and it looked just as bad.
It was like Roger Rabbit when the
Exactly. Yeah.
Eyeballs pop out.
After the most brutal thing in the match, then Paul White tries to throw him on 2 chairs. Those chairs parted like it was the Red Sea. Okay. He missed those chairs by a lot.
Yeah,
I don't expect Paul White to do any playing of the lottery because you are gonna miss.
Yeah, and the bell ring because he got I don't think he got disqualified. I think the ref finished the match because of that shitty ass.
Like that was a terrible spot in this match now.
It's not
in
even
this match.
It's because you fucking missed completely. You had 2 chairs touching like this.
Paul White just is a big fan of horseshoes, and that's how he plays. You just got to get close enough.
Yeah, and I, like I said, it doesn't take long before they end up sending him. I think it's still Ohio Valley Wrestling at this time. They made a switch to Florida, but they do send him away once they realize that he's not quite ready.
It's like, we didn't realize you couldn't wrestle.
We're sorry, we didn't realize you legit sucked. We thought you were joking. You said you weren't trying.
I mean, even I know that you have to put the chairs closer together to actually get them in.
Paul White's just like, listen, Hogan just looked at me and said, pose, brother. Just choke slam, get out of there. Good. just go. Isn't that crazy?
That's probably...
Would that ever happen today? Not only wasn't trained, this is a massive human being with no training. You're just like, we're going to make you a wrestler. Just
no. At worst, they'd throw him to NXT to find out if they were good enough before they put him on the main roster.
They put him right on Nitro against Ric Flair for the world title with no trainers. Come on, you're fine.
Yeah. It don't matter if you can wrestle as long as you're really, really big.
Hogan's just like, you look like Andre's son, brother. I see money. Doesn't matter if you wrestle.
Hogan looked at him and was like, I need another WrestleMania 3 spot where I body slam your ass.
The crazy part is I actually legit believed he was Andre's son at first when I was a kid, before I knew Andre.
I did too. He did kind of look like him.
But anyway, so he gets disqualified, and here comes Mr. McMahon, who's not happy, and he come out to tell off the Big Show. I was just disappointed because they teased the choke slam, and then Paul White was kind of like,
I think they teased the choke slam, and McMahon's like, I ain't taking that. You can't wrestle.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yours wouldn't even take your choke slam. I'm sure.
Just do a fake punch.
Yeah, so he knocked him out. So Vince got knocked out, and now Mankind will be the referee for the main event later on tonight, which is Rock and Austin. So.
Man, WrestleMania 15 has a fetish to knock people out that shouldn't be in that ring.
It's all about knockouts and fetishes.
I know.
By the way, didn't you say you found, I forget what you said, but you said you were looking for something, and this was listed on the worst matches ever?
I was getting the match card for this one, and and I couldn't find just straight up this match card. What I found is underneath this match card, it says worst matches in the world. I don't know where it was on the list. I have to click on the link, but yeah, I mean, I would imagine it's on that list specifically because of how bad he whipped on those 2 steel chairs.
Yeah, it was not the only redeeming quality of the whole thing is he knocked the man out at the end, and that was about it.
Look, here at the Boomer and Blaze show, we recognize that wrestling is to an extent fake. However, you have to at least make it look like you went through some chairs and not just slightly graze them.
You also have to know what you're doing so you don't squish your opponent like a fucking human accordion.
Like a bug. Like a bug.
Splat.
Oh.
Foley. Anyway, I mean, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. The chair spot didn't help. The McMahon segment was good, but yeah, Paul, you need to go to school, buddy. I'm going back to school. School's out for the summer, but it needs to come back. It needs to come back right now.
I'm gonna rate this 2 steel. Nope. 1 steel. Nope. He didn't hit any of them. 0 steel chairs.
Are you really giving this a 0? That could be a first. I don't know if we ever had a 0.
No, but it probably is a 1.5 actually. Other than the brutal, and I don't even want to give it too much credit for that brutal smashing of Mankind, because I feel like he actually hurt Mankind.
So do I. Oh.
Mankind, after being smushed by Big Show, Mankind was like, "Can we just stick with Hell in a Cell matches?"
Yeah.
I would have barely die with those instead.
Yeah, when you're safer, saying it's safer to throw me off the cage. Can we just not do this?
Please don't have a 507-foot man drop all of his weight on me again. Please, for the love of God, just throw me off the top of a Hell in a Cell, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this.
It was better.
One bad show. I mean, Big Show.
One bad
well, it's a bad show.
Oh my goodness, Paul White.
Hopefully
I like Paul White. I do, but ow.
A little rough at first. A little rough. Wait till we get to the WCW stuff. Say it.
Oh yeah.
You tell, but, yeah. So let's see what's next, and hopefully Mankind can make it to the main event to be the referee.
Maybe. I think he's gone. He's got to go to the hospital.
He's got to get
away.
We
almost forgot. We almost forgot. Vince McMahon says that he wants the police to go after him for assault. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a police officer. I don't know all the laws. But technically, didn't Vince McMahon slap Big Show first? Meaning the assault would be for Vince McMahon and not the Big Show?
Bad boys, bad boys.
Or at least both of them would probably get assault, correct? I'm not sure how that works. I've never assaulted anyone personally.
Normally, if you're hit first and then you hit back, it could be considered self-defense. But in this case, I don't know if Big Show can ever claim self-defense because he's 7 foot and 500 pounds. Yeah, understood. His hands are probably registered weapons. Yeah. So I don't think that would ever work.
Not like loaded weapons or like working functional weapons. Like a Marine having weapons of mass destruction in their fists, but still a weapon.
Definitely a weapon, yeah. So yeah, not very good, but hopefully there's something better on the horizon and nobody else dies. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about that later. But
this is not funny because we're getting close to something legit. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's this year too. Maybe I should stop it. Cut that.
Yeah, cut that.
Those jokes are bad days. All right, well, let's just move on.
Let's move on.
All right, so our next match was something a little different. I don't recall too many of these. It wasn't a fatal 4-way. It was a 4 corners elimination match.
I actually like these.
Yeah, it's
interesting match type.
Because only 2 men could be in the ring. Well, supposedly 2 men started. I guess we'll put it that way. And then you could tag. It wasn't even a tag match, but you could tag out anytime you wanted to. So,
but I don't think you really tag. It's the person that's out of the ring tags to come in. This is essentially how it works.
Yeah. Well, first of all, when they said that, I was like, well, I would start on the outside then. Let these fuckers beat each other up. But anyway,
right. I just dropped off the apron as the heel I am.
It's the champ Road Dogg taking on Goldust, who has Blue Meanie and Ryan Shamrock with him.
Yeah.
Val Venus and, of course, Ken Shamrock. And I just have to mention a line that Jerry Lawler said on commentary. He said there's been more hands on Ryan Shamrock than a doorknob. So I just thought I'd throw that out. Good old King.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We were always really respectful of women back in these days.
We were.
So respectful.
Respectful. And of course, they were basically talking about how she's been passed around with about everybody in this. She was with Val before this match, and now she's with Goldust all of a sudden. Yeah.
The only one she wasn't with, besides Shamrock, was Road Dogg.
Yet. Oh, you didn't know? No, I don't. I don't think Ryan's around much longer. Obviously, well, I guess not obviously, but she's not actually Ken Shamrock's
sister. This was just story
Yeah.
stuff. I like
Who names their kid Ryan?
Right. Actually, I have a friend of mine that used to work with the restaurant. Her name's Ryan. She's a girl, and her name's Ryan. Yeah, there's a few out there.
So people.
Yeah, people do it. Yeah,
hate their children.
I know a female Ryan. I do know one.
Yeah, well. So
Also,
they hate their kids. Obviously.
Also, random side note: my boss's name is Jan, and it's a dude. He's not a woman. It's a man named Jan. That's the only man I've ever met named Jan.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I like the concept of this match. It was obviously entertaining because just look at the screen. I mean, there's nobody in this match that can't wrestle.
Yeah, no, it's a good set of wrestlers.
Yeah, it is. And they were talking, of course, also that every one of these guys are former Intercontinental champions. Of course, Road Dogg's current, but every one of these guys have held this title. What seems backwards to me is doesn't it seem like Road Dogg should have been the hardcore champ and Mr. Ash should have been the IC champ? That kind of seems like that would have worked better the other way.
Maybe.
I mean, I like Road Dogg. I'm not knocking Road Dogg. I just think he probably would have worked better as the hardcore champion.
Yeah. Mr. Ass is quite big.
Yeah. So it was a great match. It was highly entertaining. The one thing I didn't like is because we had a double count out. Like, why? Why put all four guys in here if we're just going to do a double count out? But Shamrock and Val both got counted out, and then Shamrock did typical Shamrock shit and went back in the ring and snapped and started fucking everybody up.
Technically, with the double count out, you keep every wrestler strong in this match because they get double counted out, not because of bad wrestling, but because
they couldn't keep their hands off each other.
They couldn't keep their hands off each other. And even Goldust, who lost after Ryan Shamrock. Well, sorry, spoilers. Ryan Shamrock grabs Goldust's leg, distracts him, and then Road Dogg does this interesting like flip pin type thing.
Yeah.
So like everyone in this match looked strong, and even the person who lost did not look weak.
And of course, they tried to make it look like Ryan meant to do that to Road Dogg, but she had.
Well, that's what JR or the King tried to say.
Yeah, and then JR was like, Road Dogg was nowhere near.
Yeah.
She had her back turned. It was old typical heel thing. You know what you're going to do, but you don't face the ring, so then you just assume it's the right person.
Yeah.
Surprise! It was the wrong.
She was distracted by the blue meanie, which the blue meanie is very distracting. So
yes. I'm surprised he's here already. I do remember the blue meanie being. Well, I guess because he becomes part of the job squad. So I guess.
Yeah, I remember the blue meanie, but not with Goldust.
Yeah, I don't remember being with Goldust, but he does become part of the job squad. So yeah, it was a good match. It was entertaining. They're obviously going to continue this whole Ryan story with Shamrock and all that. We don't watch Raw, so we already know that. But in the end, the D.O. double G, not the Snoop D.O. double G.
The Road
Dog keeps his title with a little help from her friends.
Have a little help with my friends.
Everyone needs a little help from their friends every once in a while.
Obviously, based on the storyline, Ryan gets with Road Dogg next, right?
I would assume, but I don't remember her being with him. But who knows? Some of this stuff's fuzzy in my mind. I think she kind of disappears real soon. I don't remember if there's any more of a situation there or not. Maybe she goes back with Val. Who knows? You heard Jerry. More hand under than a doorknob. Just saying. So.
Let's not support the things the King says. Okay. We had a no Kings pro. I'm sorry. No, not bringing that up. Not going to bring that up.
Cut that. We still haven't got monkeys yet. So I'm just
because those protests was about Jerry the King Lawler, right?
Oh yeah, sure they were.
Yeah.
That's definitely what that was about. It had to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the King, baby. Wrong King. My bad. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was good overall. It may have been a fatal 4-way, but I'm not going that high. But I will give it I'm going to give it a 3. Oh, I got to behave myself. I'm just going to give it 3.
Just 3?
Just 3. I'm just gonna step back with that one. Like I said, I'm not touching that one.
3 Ryan dates for me.
Okay.
She's got all those hands on her. That's just like this. She opened a starter pack, you know. Oh, look at this! I got Val Venus, I got Goldust, Blue Meanie.
I hear all the time on the pod because I listen to a lot of different wrestling podcasts. And if you think about this, sometimes they just like to say, "How exactly?" If you meant a non-wrestling fan, and you had to explain this, like how you going to explain? Okay, so we have a porn star, a fighter, a drag queen,
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call Road Dog. Yeah, but if you think about it,
well, Road Dog with those dreads is misappropriated or something.
Sure. Boy. Wow. All right. Well, let's go ahead and see what's next. Can't.
Sad as Ken Shamrock, despite being psycho, is the most normal of that bench.
Yeah. He's just a little nuts.
All right, let's go to next.
Let's do it. All right. So before our next match, we got a little segment that showed us old Paul White got himself arrested.
Yeah, they needed all the cops that I'm assuming were fake wrestlers.
Obvious, I would say so. I mean, the cop car was like an Oldsmobile Cutlass that wasn't even painted like a cop car. So I'm assuming, they were just like a rent-a-cop. They all had on the outfit that John Candy wore in National Lampoon's Vacation. Outfit for Wally World. What the cops were.
Right.
He stood out in the car and looked like this. He literally, I just looking at that like he could just stand up right now, and I think he would just probably crack right through the door.
Yeah.
And then we get a package before our next match to explain to us what's going on, because our next match is Triple H versus Kane. China has turned and joined the corporation. It is now.
Yeah.
So good match too. This is, we talk about it all the time. Like, Kane is a big guy, big man, and he is agile, but he has to be put with the right person. Like, we watched him and Undertaker, and they had a match that was This match was great because he's in there with Triple H. There was some heart in
I do like how at the beginning of this match, when Kane comes down, it was like if WWE was like did one of those Family Guy cutaways, and the big giant chicken from Family Guy came down, and turned out it was Pete Rose. So we get Pete Rose, Family Guy chicken versus Kane.
Yes, he got a tombstone for his troubles. I totally forgot to mention Pete Rose. I'm glad you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never forget some Pete Rose. Not to mention, I made this graphic.
That was the pre-match. That was the cock before the. That was the pre-cock.
That was the cockfight. Yeah, the cockfight on the cock.
Yes, the cockfight on the cock. Pete Rose got a tombstone and was made famous or infamous, whichever way you want to look at that.
He's in the Hall of Fame now, the WWE Hall of Fame. So
yeah, and by the way, of course, I hate when they do this, but he's now also eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame. They just wanted to wait till he died, so he couldn't actually.
Yeah, I think he deserves the Hall of Fame.
He does, but they shouldn't have waited till he was dead. That's just one of those.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you. I know.
Yeah. Pete Rose got a tombstone before the match. He was dressed up as the. I think that's the Phillies mascot.
It's the Phillies mascot. Yeah.
Anyway,
Philadelphia Philly or something.
Yes. So they showed us all this. They showed us all this footage about the turn, and they showed a couple weeks ago where Kane went to throw a fireball at Triple H because yes, this is still that error. Kane's magic. All he has to do is this.
Yeah.
Pew, pew. Triple H ducked, and it went to China's face. So China got a face full of fire. Probably not the first time. And and then I love how during the match too, by the way, they talked about how she had a burnt retina from the fireball.
She's normally used to something a little whiter being shot in her face, but
We'll see you next week on the So this was a good match. It had some really good spots, and there was a spot where Triple H was going to pedigree Kane on the stairs, but instead Kane backdropped Triple H onto the floor, and I think that looked worse than what the pedigree would have been. Like that backdrop.
Oh my gosh! Well, Kane's already tall, and then
Kane's
he's
tall.
on top of the on the top of the stair. I get it. I feel you. I feel you.
Crack, fucking. And then, I get it. Kane's still kind of green here and young, but he did do a dive over the top rope, and it wasn't that good. And they should have just kept going, but they wanted to make it sound like he just did some kind of lucha 360 move, and it wasn't even that good of a dive. Triple H kind of had to adjust to make sure he was there. That's okay. That's a small thing. Not a big deal. But we get towards the end of the match, and there was a chair involved. First of all, Chyna came out, and her retina looked fine to me. I don't know what you thought, but I didn't see.
I didn't notice any issues.
No, her eyes seemed fine. So did everything else. And and of course, you said you saw where this was going when Chyna came out.
Yeah, she was making like the second she has to ask to cheat, she's going after.
Oh,
tell me a moment in wrestling where someone's like, let me, and they actually go after the person they're asking to go after.
You mentioned the cheating, so I have to back it up because I forgot about this so after the backdrop and all that shit. No, this was when Chyna came out. This did happen when Chyna came out. Chyna come out before she asked to cheat, though. She threw fucking stairs in the ring, folks. Like most people will slide you in some brass knucks or something. No, Chyna's like, here, have the fucking stairs, right?
I mean, Chyna's a mountain of a man. She doesn't believe in just little ass bare knuckles.
You and I have talked about
brass knuckles.
If you're outside and you use the stairs, that's fine. You're outside, the stairs are there. But I'm pretty sure when they come in the ring, that becomes a weapon. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, apparently it's okay as long as you don't actually pick them up, because Triple H slams Kane's face on the stairs. He never touched the stairs. Kane touched the stairs, technically.
Ref literally saw the stairs there. It was just like,
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But as soon as Triple H tripped and smacked his face in there, then the ref decided, okay, I better take the stairs out.
No, I just have to defend Chyna because you made you claim that Chyna came in and cheated for Triple H by attacking Kane. That's not what happened.
Oh,
you see, this is self-defense because Kane clearly grabbed her by her butt, and she said no, and no means no, Boomer. No means no. Yeah, and this was self-defense for him assaulting her and her butt.
I must have missed that one.
That is absolutely what happened.
Sure.
She was defending her. She's a feminist, and she was defending her right to not have men just grab her by the butt.
Yeah. Well, Triple H then defended it with that fucking chair shot. What's the word of the day? Concussion.
That's the love of his life. Of course he's going to defend his woman until Tess has a girl. No. Anyways, for now, and tell me, okay, look, I like Chyna. I love Chyna. I do not want to make fun of her physical appearance.
Okay.
But watching Chyna jump into Triple H's arms was an interesting sight. This is what I'm gonna say here. She's jumping into his arms like she's like this little petite, like she's fucking Sabrina Carpenter size to Triple H, and she's about the same size as Triple H.
And all you can see is her back. And the thing is, if you don't know that's Chyna, I mean, like her back's more manly than mine. Like, it was a little awkward. We need a different angle if they're going to hug.
I mean, do you see Triple H's hair? Her back is more manly than Triple H. Hey, sorry.
More manly than Triple H's do, right? Like that, that bromance.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't want to make fun of her appearance. I'm just noticing the contrast of her jumping into Triple H's arms.
Yeah.
It was
think about that contrast.
It gave me a bit of a chuckle.
Obviously, you've never seen One Night in China. Anyway.
Who said that? Look, I was interested. almost every wrestling fan, they're like, I'm not into her, but I'm kind of curious.
Talk about contrast. Bronco Buster from Xbox.
I'm sorry, Con Ass, Con Ass.
Con Air? Is that the sequel to Con Air? Con Ass?
Yes.
This fall, Nicolas Cage stars in Con
Well,
Air.
you know where Con Air was going? Straight into China. Oh!
This guy. Folks, he's on a roll.
This week. I have 1 year of pent up non-podcasting.
It's all this frustration.
My last podcast was all about facts. No. Blaze don't play that.
You said when China came out, you saw where it was going. I think even back then, because I do remember the storyline, I think even back then when China's quote unquote turned on Triple H, I wasn't buying it. I'm like, no, this is a double turn coming here.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. It ended in a DQ, but I don't even care, not in this situation. See, I'm not as bad as somebody with the DQs at a pay-per-view. If it's done right, I'm okay with it. This was done right. There was a reason for this. This made sense. Yeah. So I'm okay with it. DQ. Still entertaining as hell between Pete Rose, China, the man hugs. Like there's a lot going on in this match.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna go. Let's see. I'm gonna go 3.5 man hugs.
I was gonna go with 3.5 scary puppies.
Oh, those are scary puppies.
I mean, they're puppies, but a little terrifying.
It's more the I don't want to make fun of her either. Never mind. It's not making fun of her. I don't know what's going on here. Like it's very the in between is very skeletal.
Those puppies wanted to come out to play. I'm just
like, why are you trying to keep out here over on the side? We need to go.
They did not want to stay. I mean, she paid good money for those. I'm sorry, Triple H paid good money for those.
Or Vince.
I don't know who technically paid for them, but we've been watching wrestling for a while, and she did not have those when she first came out.
You just filed that under hush money. The boob job.
Hush money.
Goes under the hush money file. All right. Oh, we did rank. I was about to say let's rank this, but I forgot we did because we're talking about hush money, boobies, and man backs, and I don't know what's happening.
All right. I think we're on to the next.
Let's do it. Let's go to the next. All right. So our next match. Real quick before we discuss this match.
Sorry, spoilers.
Obviously, Tori is new. This is not Tori Wilson, by the way. Don't be confused with Tori Wilson. This is the other Tori. She's still new. I think this is her debut. They said debut match anyway. She's been hanging around, but originally this was supposed to be Sable against Luna Vachon, because if you remember, we've been watching Luna and Sable feud, and they have a lingerie match or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, apparently, Luna decided to fight Sable for real in the locker room and got suspended.
Oh shit!
He whooped that ass backstage in a real confrontation, and she got suspended. So Tori got thrown in here, and then the bell rang. And,
I'm curious how Sable became a heel.
Me too, but we don't watch the shows. I didn't think she was at first. I told you I don't even remember being a heel, but she was definitely a heel.
She was definitely a heel.
She had an attitude and ego, and
she
was pandering to the crowd. So was her outfit. It was also pandering to the crowd. Tori wore a full body suit, but you could still see the assets, if you know what I'm saying.
Tori's full body suit. She was trying to make furries a thing before furries were a thing. Well, I say that, but furries may be around a lot longer than I'm aware of. So
maybe.
I'm not entirely sure when furries first became a thing, but that was definitely what Tori was going for.
The King kept questioning whether it was a body suit or body paint. He's like, is that paint? Does she even have clothes on?
It was definitely a suit.
And then you could obviously tell in certain spots of the match, and this isn't me, folks. I am a reporter reporting what I saw. There were definitely some that had nothing to do with the wrestling. It was just when they were in certain positions, the crowd went wild. I'm just saying.
90s, 99 crowd. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So we're going along, and we see this. First of all, I forget what move Sable went for, but the whole sequence just.
She went for the Sable bomb.
No, before that, like Tori ducked that one move, and then all of a sudden started running off the ropes for no fucking reason, like totally out of sequence. Remember, you were like, "What the fuck was that?" She like just stepped to the side and started running off the ropes. It was horrible. And then she delivered a really horrible clothesline to the ref up. I think it was a clothesline. I'm not sure. And then I don't know how I forgot, but we had a little surprise visitor.
Yeah. Who was that?
That I totally forgot about her. But if you think China is the biggest woman wrestler you've ever seen, that was Nicole Bass, who is actually a bodybuilder and a weightlifter. And I'm pretty sure the only reason that she ended up getting tied into WWE is because they mentioned it on commentary. She was a regular on the Howard Stern show. But yeah, she started out as a bodybuilder. And I won't lie that back then I questioned whether that was actually a man or not. She is all female. She's all woman. She never had any surgeries or anything. She's all woman. So.
Fair enough.
She came in and helped Tori win. And yeah.
No, not Tori. Sable. She helped Sable win.
I'm sorry. Yeah, help Sable
win. You keep not wanting to believe Sable's a heel.
Right.
You're questioning.
Tell me it's not true. Tell me it's not true.
No, Sable.
You broke my heart. Yeah, but this wasn't that good. I could make eye candy jokes.
There was
but it wasn't.
There was that Sable bomb where it's like when Nicole Bass was coming out, Sable just like dropped her.
Yeah,
it was just bad.
It was sloppy. There was nothing. It was bad. And I don't totally blame. Like I said, I don't know how long Tori's been here, but they kept pushing that Tori. This might have been her first match. If your first major match is at WrestleMania and you weren't even planning on being in it, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of
and I like Sable just fine, but Sable isn't exactly a great wrestler.
She wasn't far enough as a wrestler to have her in there with someone else that was green.
Yeah,
Sable's still green here. You put two green people together, who the fuck's supposed to lead the match if neither one of them?
Which we've been spoiled with women's wrestling.
Totally
Nowadays, I don't know if I can't tell you who's a bad wrestler.
Right.
In women's wrestling, I don't know if there is a bad wrestler in women's wrestling. Back then, you were lucky to have two good, like not even good ones. You were lucky to have two decent ones.
And then
it was all about TNA. It was all about TNA. Not the promotion TNA.
Yes.
Let me clarify. I am specifically talking about tits and ass.
Yes. And it's true. That is what it's about. It was all about how you looked. Wrestling skills were secondary. And unfortunately, when you put two people in there that don't know what they're doing, you get a shit show. And not a good one. It was not good. This was not good at all.
Yeah.
It was good to look at.
This was rough. No, I don't even know if it was good to look at. It was rough.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm gonna give this half a champion.
I'm gonna give this half doggy style. Oh, I'm sorry. She was dressed like a cat, not a dog. My bad. Kitty style? Kitty style?
It's wrong, Peacock.
Kitty style, maybe?
Doggy style. There's so much drama in the ALBC. Oh, wait, that's wrong. All right. Well, let's hope. I did hear him say, I was trying not to peek ahead because I don't remember this whole WrestleMania because I'm too focused on what's about to happen. But I heard him mention Shane O'Mac, so I believe we get Shane O'Mac next.
Yeah, Shane and X-Pac, right?
Oh, you're right, for the European Championship. Yeah.
Oh, all right. This could be interesting. Shane is sneaky good.
Yeah, Shane could go.
And X-Pac is no slouch as well, so this could be good. Now that he's not the 1-2-3 kid. Anyway,
this could be a sleeper right here.
All right, let's get it going.
All right, so here we go. And next, by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier, and I want to mention it now because it's going to be relevant here in a second. But at ringside, we have the Mean Street Posse. And for those not familiar with the Mean Street Posse, they're a little clique that ends up wrestling for a while in the WWE. The crazy thing is these guys are legit Shane McMahon's childhood friends.
Oh.
And that, when you have a billionaire friend that's just like, hey, guys, you want to be wrestlers? Why not?
Sure.
Shit, let's throw you in the ring. So the Main Street Posse.
I got nothing better to do this weekend.
They've been there. They've been there the whole night. And our next match is for the European Championship, and it is X-Pac taking on Triple H and Test in a three-way.
No.
What? Yeah, it's a triple threat, right?
No,
not a triple threat. Oh, my bad.
I think you just spoiled it there.
My bad. It's Shane McMahon with Test versus X-Pac. Is that better? Is that
sure?
Okay. All right. Not a bad match. I love me some Shane O'Mac. There was just something happened. I don't know if it was something in the air or if it was an allergy, but every time that X-Pac got out of the ring, he broke out in Test.
Well, you know, the first time it happened,
here we go.
X-Pac really wanted to ride the pole, so Test just kind of helped him out by, you know, just picking him up and putting him on that pole.
He was helping him out. He was helping him get back in the ring. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Run his balls into the pole.
No, he wanted to ride the pole.
Oh, he wanted to. Oh, okay. Oh, so
yeah,
Test assisted
X-Pac
Bronco.
wanted to be a stripper. Yeah, absolutely. Test was assisting.
Oh, okay. He was assisting every time.
You know, there was that one time where he was trying to give X-Pac a nice one-armed hug, and X-Pac actually just went into a little too close. It was a mistake, an accident. These things happen.
Because I don't remember if this was a no DQ match, but I'm pretty sure Shane was whipping X-Pac with a belt. Where did he get that belt from? Where did that belt come? Oh, that was Test's belt.
I mean, X-Pac is into some kinky shit. I mean, no kink shame. There is no kink shame on the Boomer and Blaze show. X-Pac likes to take a belt, you know. He likes that punishment.
Listen, I'm sorry I had to leave the screen.
He wants to be a stripper. He has a kink.
I love good jokes, but I've seen One Night in China, so it's hard for me to keep myself straight.
Ooh.
Woo! He knows how to break it down. I'll just say. Jesus. This is also very heavy, and well, you mentioned what they said on commentary. This is a very heavy corporation pay-per-view. We have the corporation
very heavy
now, and the corporation's basically running everything. And they pretty much said on commentary, "Who the fuck's going to disqualify Shane? You're just going to get."
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much. The weird thing is that they didn't disqualify Shane, but the thing is X-Pac also got his hands on that belt. And the ref was like, just let it happen.
Yeah, he let it go too, which I admire.
He let it go. So I think the ref was just like, let him play.
I was almost shocked that he didn't just disqualify X-Pac right away, thinking the opposite, right? Like, if I don't disqualify him, I'm getting fired. Like, fuck it, this match is over with. But no,
well, who was the champion?
Shane. Shane was champion.
Okay, so I was going to say, if X-Pac was champion, you don't disqualify him because that takes away the chance of Shane winning the title. So
I think we've seen in the past, too, there were a situation like this where the refs kind of let the face get back at the heel, and they're just like, fuck it, if the heel can do it. But if you want to talk real for a minute, folks, because we all know how this works, but let me tell you that Shane was not taking it easy with the belt shots. That shit was echoing throughout the arena. I have no doubt X-Pac has welts all over his back. But then when the shoe switched, X-Pac's just kind of, got you, Shane. Got you. They were definitely not as hard. I don't know if he was being easy on Shane on purpose, but they were not as like. Shane,
Shane beating. How much damage do you want to do to your boss's son? You know.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so my wrestling brain was like, was X-Pac doing that for real? Or was it like meant to look like X-Pac was afraid to hit him with it too bad because everybody thinks their jobs are on the line?
You're wondering if it's serious or
either a work or a shoot. Yes. Was he like really taking it easy on Shane, or was it just because I remember this point in WWE and they kind of had everybody trying to act like they were walking on eggshells because of the corporation? You know what I mean? Like everybody's afraid.
Absolutely. That's probably what it was then.
Even fart wrong because the corporation's in charge. And I guess we mentioned before this match, we had a segment where Vince announced he has a replacement because Mick Foley apparently went to the hospital. We were discussing how those two words don't go in the same sentence, Mick Foley and hospital, unless he's visiting. That's the only time.
He was flattened.
When I think of Mick Foley in the hospital, all I can think of is Mr. McMahon getting the bedpan to his head from Stone Cold. Like, Mick Foley doesn't belong in a hospital. So now Vince says he's going to be the ref. But now we get back to this match. And
we joked a little about all that, but I don't know where to go here at the ending. I forgot about all this. The brain has to suck all this. Let's suck all this in right here. It's like Test gets into the ring finally at one point. Like Test is in the ring with the belt, right? And he gives X-Pac a belt shot.
Well, yeah, I mean, he just wanted to motivate X-Pac and say, just a reminder, you're here
just like
for this title. You're here for this title. And then he tripped and accidentally hit. I mean, that was an accident.
Why don't you come here and accidentally trip into this?
That would be pretty impressive considering how far apart we are.
Let's reach out and punch someone, you know?
Yeah, this isn't aha take on me, okay? You can't just walk through that screen.
That would be badass though. Like you want to see some
Hell yeah, it would be. Oh my gosh. That's still one of the coolest music videos ever, I swear.
Still probably the best. Especially when you consider the time that it came out. You know, back
exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. X-Pac take on me.
Take on me.
So we got all this chaos going on. Test is helping out at the end. My bad. And here comes DX. So we're all thinking, yeah, level playing field, baby. Here comes DX.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not what happened.
This ending made me. I'm really excited for the next pay-per-view.
So,
and we're gonna wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remembered it for a minute, and I know we say it all the time, but I didn't realize because we don't watch the weekly shows and because it tends to go by so fast. This version of DX has already been together for a year or so. Because I was like, they can't be breaking up already, and then they mentioned they've already been together for a year. So this is, I believe, where they break up. Triple H is going to start becoming the game. I think this might lead to the X-Pac and Kane tag team. Maybe it's too early for that, but I remember those two being a tag team. I actually loved X-Pac.
Oh yeah, they definitely were.
Yeah, as a tag team, so that could be leading to that too. But yeah, this is sadly we're not going to have any more DX here.
Yeah, we didn't realize when that Triple H versus Kane match happened that was actually China kicking him out of the corporation.
Right, we thought China was rejoining DX, and really it was Kane out, Triple H
and Triple H in. Yeah,
that ain't gonna be the only thing he's in here in a minute.
Well, honestly though, like
full corporate, baby, full corporate.
That's right. Honestly though, like this almost saves this because let's be honest, this has been a rough pay-per-view for the most part. Yeah, for a Mania especially, this has been kind of a rough pay-per-view. This corporation storyline and DX storyline is kind of saving it a bit.
That's what's keeping
maybe not completely, but it's saving it a bit.
And I had that, and we haven't even discussed it yet. But I literally was sitting here with that same thought of this kind of doesn't feel like a Mania.
Not till these last couple matches.
A corporate tie-ins, yeah. One thing that's saving the story right now. We're not done because Mr. McMahon is now going to referee the main event.
But, you know we love some Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon.
But I do know what's next.
Yeah,
I do know what's next, and I'm going to take a wild guess. I'm sure you've seen this WrestleMania, but I'm going to you haven't rewatched this WrestleMania in a long time.
Oh, not since it aired, probably.
I'm also going to
I watched it.
I'm also going to guess that you don't know what happens in this Hell in the Cell match. So we're just going to watch it, and I can't wait to talk about it afterwards. Because the infamous moment I've been waiting on happens in this.
Oh, I was assuming it was the main event with Stone Cold.
It happened.
No, it's this.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. Against Big Boss Man, huh?
Good old 90s WWE. That's all I'm going to say. Good old Attitude Era. Let's just watch it. We'll discuss it afterwards.
Let's watch.
All right, here we go. And before we even discuss the next match, I forgot to mention something on the last match, which kind of blows my mind. But that last match between Shane and X-Pac, that was actually X-Pac's first WrestleMania match.
Oh, really?
He's been
even as 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yeah, he has been at WrestleManias, but that was his first WrestleMania
actual match.
6 years into the company.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a little crazy. That's a little crazy. So a little fact here before we get to our next match, which, by the way, our next match we'll get to. Anyway, before the next match, which happens to be Hell in a Cell, while they were lowering the cell, Michael Cole on commentary, which we don't hear it because, of course, Peacock took it out, but Michael Cole accidentally said, "Don't forget to stay into the post show where you'll hear from the new WWE champion,
Spoiler, kids. I just spoiled the whole picture.
Oh, you just spoiled it. Yeah.
But I had to share that backstage fact that Michael Cole also spoiled it on TV, live back then.
And he still has a job.
So kids, let's have a chat. Come on over to my house and let's talk here for a second, kids. All right, it's happy time. So we all know how this works, right? We all know what wrestling is.
Yeah,
but even me, sometimes you just go too far. My co-host, is it possible to go too far in wrestling? Do you get why I was talking about an infamous moment?
Well, let me put it to you like this. There is a show called Dark Side of the Ring for a reason.
There is. But that's usually stuff that doesn't happen on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Usually after Hell in a Cell and a victory by The Undertaker, the crowd's really like probably into it and stuff. They didn't even know what to do. The crowd didn't even know how to react to this. This isn't even the match we're talking about. This is after Taker gets a victory, and next thing you know, there's some people dropping from the ceiling, and right away you're like, ooh, I don't think they didn't know yet, okay? We just know that it's bad times. You have 30 people dangling from the ceiling. It's not anyway, the Brood came out, and I just kept quiet while watching it because
Are we going to tell them what the match is?
Oh, I guess we should, huh? Before I get
perhaps.
So much fun. So it's a Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and the Boss Man. Boss Man's corporate. Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness. Undertaker got the victory. And then the Brood dropped from the ceiling, which, hey, okay, cool. Here comes the Brood.
Well, the first thing that happens is the Brood's going down, and I'm just yelling, don't do that. Don't do that.
Our future selves know. So I'm not saying anything as they come down because I already know what's going to happen. I'm just waiting to hear what my co-host says. And they start ripping the cage open. And next thing you see a rope. And I believe you said something like, are they going to try to hang him?
Yeah.
And my response was, they're not going to try.
How do they manage? Like, I do know that an actual hanging is supposed to break the neck. It's not supposed to. You don't normally choke to death, but
ladies and gentlemen, we hung the Big Boss Man.
How did they manage to keep him up there? That like,
I do know this. I do know the secret, but I was kind of saving that fact for after we were
okay, please do because
I do know the secret. Yeah, I actually know how they did it. But yeah, we hung Boss Man on live TV. We in front of everyone, children, women, babies.
Yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable.
I'm a huge wrestling fan, but sometimes too much. In fact, when we were recording before our break, there was a pay-per-view where AEW put a plastic bag over a guy's head, and I lost my shit over that because there's lines you don't cross. And I don't think you should be hanging people. I mean, because you got to picture this if you haven't seen it. Go watch it if you haven't. But they drop the rope through the Hell in the Cell. He wraps the noose around his neck, and then they raise the fucking cell. That's how they hang.
Yeah,
They just raise the cell, and Boss Man sells it really good. You're all right though. That is a misconception. You don't suffocate if you're hung; it breaks your neck. That's
traditionally you. That's why it jerks down.
Like struggling and doing this stuff because you think they're choking, but traditionally, if it's done right, it breaks your neck.
If they're choking, it's because the actual it didn't work properly. You should have been dead the second you drop. But that's not how they did this. They didn't drop him like execution style. They literally hung him.
It's our first episode back, and we're giving pointers on hangings. What the fuck? The more you know.
Look, Blaze 101. This is how you properly hang someone.
Not get canceled before we even. It was a little uncomfortable. It was a little uncomfortable. Obviously,
a little.
Obviously, there was a trick to it, and actually, maybe it's because I knew what they did. But when Undertaker was down there putting the noose on, I could kind of see the other thing he was doing. So there was actually a harness on Big Boss Man, and that harness was attached to the rope. So even though so there's actually no pressure of that rope around his neck. He's actually being lifted by the harness. He's not being lifted by and the harness was attached to the rope. Undertaker had a chain, you could almost see it, and he clipped one end on the rope and the other end on the
harness. I was really trying to figure out how they weren't murdering someone.
It looks like he's being lifted by the rope, but there was actually a harness.
And he seemed quite, comfortable up there. Yeah, like he just it was like he passed out. And in actuality, he should have been going.
Yeah, and then they dim the lights really quickly because we just killed a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there was a match too. What did we think of the match? I was so distracted by the.
I mean, it wasn't anything. I mean, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like.
Here again, this is a reason why I guess I don't remember a lot of this WrestleMania because we had talking about this all night. It's not that. It's like.
I mean, there
like
was a point where they.
I couldn't wait for you to see this to see what your reaction was. That was like the biggest thing I was excited for was to see how you would react to what we just did. Like,
was Undertaker supposed to break out of those handcuffs?
Oh, I forgot to mention that, and I don't think so. So apparently they decided to buy their handcuffs off Temu, and
the Temu wasn't a thing. That's not how that works.
Wish bought them off Wish.
Also, so, not a thing back in 1999.
Handcuffed to the.
They might have got them from a dollar store. They should have gone to the porn store. Right. They would have some good quality handcuffs.
You could have went to Spencer's Gifts. Now that was
the more you know.
He had him handcuffed to the cell, and he was hitting him with a nightstick, and he hit him in the head, and the Undertaker fell to the ground, and the fucking handcuff snapped. So the horse of the night Undertaker had the other. I don't think that was supposed to happen.
Which makes me wonder if, like, how was he supposed to get out?
Right.
Like, what was the actual storyline? Maybe he was supposed to rip out, but I'm guessing he was supposed to like power out, not accidentally break him.
Right. My guess is it was supposed to look like he had the strength to do it, and they accidentally
and they broke too soon. I'm guessing they were breakaway handcuffs, and he just broke away too soon.
They were meant to break
because it seemed awkward.
Yeah. And I don't even know if he realized it because Boss Man hit him with the nightstick, and Undertaker was down there. He wasn't cutting himself with a blade, but he came up bleeding from the nightstick. He was down there doing the blade job. He probably didn't realize because he was doing this thing, and I could see it. That's the thing I hate again about being too smart because sometimes I see that stuff. Back in the day, I never saw it, but I saw Undertaker thing itself. Yeah,
I missed it.
That little zip. I could never do that. By the way, I just want to say, if I was a wrestler, there's no way I could blade myself.
Yeah, but look at that bald head. You would look great. I mean, just like Stone Cold. Stone Cold bled amazingly.
But could you imagine? By the way, there's someone else that didn't like the blade. Austin did not. The first time he ever bled in wrestling, he had somebody else cut him. In WCW, the first time he bled, he made someone else blade him because he didn't want to do it. I'm talking about the actual act of trying to do it. I don't think I could. Or I'd mess up. Knowing my luck, because you're just supposed to break the surface, I'd end up like put a gouge in my like, dude, what you do? Come up and have a big split in my fucking forehead. Like, yeah, I would not want to. I'm good with that. If you want me to bleed, you better do it the hard way. I'm not blading myself.
You would rather get pounded so much that you bleed. Okay. Yeah.
Like when Brock busted open Randy Orton a couple years ago back at that SummerSlam, that was hard way. I'd rather that happen than just bust.
Shit, we're not super far away from Randy Orton, hell, or Brock.
Yeah, no, not at all. Neither Sable. Not too far away from him either. No, things are about to change so fast, and it's hard to believe. I think between 98 and 2000, like 99, I think it's just kind of because there's so many changes. It's going by so quick, and things are kind of weird. There's so much happening, but it's going to get better. That's all that's going to happen. This WrestleMania has been very strange.
Well, I'm getting pretty excited because after about 2001-ish
is when
I didn't really watch a lot of wrestling, so this is going to be all new stuff for me. Now I know a lot, I know about Evolution, but I never watched it. Right, I never saw Triple H's like dominant
runs
run that everybody complains about. I never watched him. I got married, and I didn't have cable.
Cena at first, like when he was the prototype, and then
I missed prototype Cena. So I'm excited. I'm excited for getting back into this. I'm excited to see the stuff I missed. I'm really excited about Evolution. I've heard so much good about Evolution. Like it's considered one of the top factions, and I was never watching at the time.
Yeah, I think they are. I put them right up there with the Horsemen. To me, that's what they were. They were like a modern day version of the Horsemen. In my opinion.
They were a modern day. Now they're.
So anyway, So other than what happened at the end, I guess we have to rank this match. We got to decide. And yes, Undertaker won, and again though, it was a Hell in a Cell, and it wasn't nothing over the top happened except for what happened at the end.
Nobody broke through a cell. Nobody fell off a cell.
There was a few spots with a nightstick. The Boss Man got thrown into the cage a few times, but there was nothing like this. Was probably Undertaker's least.
The weird thing is like the corporation's supposed to be the major heel, but I guess the Ministry isn't exactly not heel.
I think they're both heel. Yeah, I think it's a heel version. The Ministry was not good guys.
Yeah.
Like,
but they were fighting the corporation, so they kind of were.
And they're fighting the corporation, so they're. Did you notice Paul Bearer too? This is when Paul Bearer's just trying to dress like a normal person, like he doesn't have the makeup on, and he's not wearing the all black suit. He's trying to be like hip Paul Bearer.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, he had on like just a red shirt, like a blazer. He's not even wearing like his mortuary.
I was too busy watching him press a button to bring a man to hanging.
Hang him high. Yeah, hang him high. It was fine. I don't know. I have this made me uncomfortable is the problem, and the hanging is part of this segment. Like, I don't know what to rank this because it's just the ending was not okay. It's not okay to hang people. It's not okay.
You're at the Boomer Blaze show. We do not support hanging people.
Even though we walked you through the proper way to do it, now it should work.
Just because we know how to do something doesn't mean we support it.
That's right, because I know how to make bodies disappear.
But at the same time, thank God Big Boss Man was supported.
Yes. And there was a magic
and
trick.
Didn't die.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, kudos. I don't agree with them doing it, but kudos for pulling it off to where there was no way you could tell he had a harness on. You could not.
No, I didn't notice it. I was trying to figure it out. I will say there's a missed opportunity. You did this hanging, and they shut off the lights. How cool would it have been if they did like one big, really bright light, and all it was a silhouette of Boss Man hanging?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been cool looking?
Yeah. And if you're doing it anyway.
Sorry, I do not condone it. But if you're doing it,
we're talking about a production value thing. If you're going to do it, you might as well take advantage of it. You're right. They missed out on that. That would have been a cool image. They could have done
like
something
a
a
huge,
little cooler.
like a huge spotlight behind it.
Yeah, to where you just saw his silhouette.
All you can't actually see any features. That would have been cool.
As a matter of fact, it would have been better if they would have shut the lights off before he was all the way up there dangling and did this. What you're talking about, then we wouldn't have actually saw someone getting hung on TV.
Yeah,
but, you know,
like if it was a dummy, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it was an average match. Even if you took the hanging away, it was only an average match. It wasn't anything special.
I'm gonna go with 1.5 uncomfortable choices.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 1.5 pair of handcuffs. They break.
Yeah.
Whew. All right. Well,
it's rough. It's rough.
We do know what's next. There's only one match left. It's main event time.
Woohoo!
It's main event time, and as far as we know, Mr. McMahon is about to be the referee. So,
well, that as far as we know, now I'm curious.
I can't remember.
Right.
I can't remember. I cannot remember how this match goes, and you know I'm Mr. Like knowledge and history, but I think because this happened at this WrestleMania and the fucking brawl for all shit happened. I don't remember. I know the outcome of this match. I just don't remember how we get there. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't watch this pay-per-view, but I watched the Raw after it because I remember the brawl for all and seeing highlights of that. I'm guessing they didn't show many highlights of Boss Man being hung because I'm guessing there was some backlash.
And I don't think I watched this at that time, like when it actually aired. I don't think I got this pay-per-view because I was 19 yet, but I definitely remember seeing it. I just don't. I may not have watched it live, but yeah, right choice. So anyway, it's main event time. Let's do it. Let's see it. It's Rock Austin. Can't go wrong there, right?
I don't know. We just watched the Undertaker Hanger Man, but all right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right, so here we go. And for the first time all night, it felt like a WrestleMania.
Yeah, this was high octane energy. This was fun. This was entertaining.
Good, and everything that they did looked fucking painful. Like there was there's so many spots I don't even know. There was the one where was that a suplex Rock did when Austin's leg hit the light and everything.
It was more of just like a monkey flip. He just like tossed him over him.
Yeah, like a monkey flip. When Austin landed, he landed on part of the entrance set, I guess. And his bad knee wrapped over the fucking light. It looked horrible.
Yeah.
He took a suplex on the concrete. You can't fake that, kids. You can't fake a suplex. Like there's no like you just got to take it and hope that hope it goes okay. And then I think
got to take it like a champ, you know.
Austin threw Rock into the giant WrestleMania sign, and the whole thing shook. The big giant entrance on the outside. So yeah, I did not remember. I did spoil the outcome of this match earlier because Michael Cole did. I just didn't remember how it went down. We had Sheriff Michaels came out and laid some wall down, didn't he?
He did.
With the guns, but pew 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 pew
pew pew pew pew pew,
and told McMahon, "No corporation, bitch. No corporation allowed to ringside." Which I get it. It's storyline, but technically it's a no DQ. So can you really ban people from ringside if it's?
You can if you're the commissioner.
And if you're Shawn fucking Michaels, you can. He also told Vince that he wasn't going to ref it. Like, I love this. I love this that we know that Vince owns the company, but Shawn is in power. So Vince has to listen to Shawn. And so he did end up not being the ref. The original referee, and I say that for a reason, folks, because we kind of went through a couple. The first referee was Mike Chioda, and he gets the WrestleMania 15 MVP award. Does he not?
Hell yeah. Yes, he does. The dude took look. Stone Cold took a chair and put his hands up and protected himself.
That's how you protect yourself from a chair shot. Is you put the hands up.
But
Chioda said,
"Fuck Chioda,
bring it on." It almost looked like he didn't know it was going to happen. He took an unprotected chair shot.
Yeah,
I wanted to bring up because when that happens, you said, I forget what you said that made me think of this, but this actually is something Mike Chioda, the ref that took this chair shot, actually told us in an interview. And he doesn't know if they still do it now, but back in the day, back in this time, if any referee took a bump, which Tim White took a bump in this as well, they got bonuses. So at least he got paid to take that chair.
Fair enough.
He said back in the early days, he's like, I don't know if they still do it now, but back in my prime, if any of us took bumps, we got a bonus for taking a bump. So
I hope a double for their chair shot.
Triple, dude. I don't think I've ever, I can't ever remember a ref taking a chair shot directly on the head and unprotected.
I'm sure it happens, but
it looked like that chair shot from Raw that Shamrock took when he told The Rock or whoever the fuck it was to hit me for real. Remember that chair shot?
Yeah.
And Shamrock put his arms and he was like, it looked like that. Like that was intense. But this was fun. It was crazy. The corporation never did come out. Mr. McMahon tried to interfere. Let's see. So Chioda took a chair shot. Tim White was then the referee, and Tim White took a rock bottom. And then I think another ref came out before Earl. But then Mr. McMahon ended up out there. He took out that referee. And the next thing you know, here comes Mankind. He made it out of the hospital. He's got his arm like this. So he came out to be the referee. And Stone Cold did win in the end. The Rock is the best seller ever of the Stone Cold Stunner.
Oh my gosh.
Best ever.
And he did it fantastic.
Fantastic
sell. We got the best seller of the stunner and the worst stunner sell.
Because dude, Mr. McMahon,
Vince McMahon never can. He just flops.
McMahon sells the stunner. It's like that one chick that when you hooked up with her finally, she was dead in bed. You know what I'm saying?
You mean when the Undertaker has sex? I did not mean the wrestler, actually.
Jeez, that was tough.
Yeah, that's dark. Yeah, my bad. Hey, we just had a
podcast. It got dark, and we're not even on that show.
I mean, we just talked about a hanging, so this isn't that worse.
No, this is
what's a little necrophilia when we just talked about hanging,
Right. And if we really want to deep dive into that, I was always scared about the fact that has to be a law against that, because that means at some point it happened. Just
what, necrophilia?
Yeah.
100% it's happened.
Yeah, if they have to make it illegal for you to have sex with a dead body, then it's definitely happened multiple times. Like,
yeah, it's kind of a thing.
As a matter of fact, it happens with Triple H.
Oh,
Katie Vick, anybody remember? And a casket? No.
Yeah.
Down the road. I don't think we actually have to watch that. I think that happens on Raw. I don't think we actually have.
Oh, okay.
So that's a Monday Night Raw thing. So without a doubt, excellent main event. This is the first of the trilogy between The Rock and Stone Cold. And also, by the way, just a quick fun fact for you. This was Stone Cold's third title. And it was also the second year in a row that he dethroned the champ at Mania. So this is the second Mania that Austin won the world title. And he became the first person to ever do that. First person to ever dethrone a champion at back-to-back Manias, if that makes sense. He didn't win the title. He won the title back-to-back.
That's because Hulk Hogan always had the title.
Yeah. He's also still to this day the only wrestler to ever do that with the WWE title. The Undertaker did it as world champ at WrestleMania 23 and 24. But that's the big goal, not the WWE title. So yeah, still to this day,
okay.
He's the only person to win, to dethrone a champion 2 WrestleManias in a row. So I loved this main event. I loved everything about it. It was rough, it was fun, it was chaotic, it was everything you want, and it was 2 of the best to ever do it, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think sometimes when we talk about the Mount Rushmores and stuff, I think most people say The Rock because I think both these guys would have to be on there. I mean, you can do Mount Rushmores, but I mean,
you'd have to look at it like, do you make the Mount Rushmore like the best of each generation? And these 2 are in the same generation, so
we've deep dove many times into different ways you can actually decide. In fact, I was listening to one of our old episodes and we went through all the eras and was like, okay, well, what if you picked a guy from every era? And we're like, Hogan's the golden era and this guy. So yeah, that's all up for debate. But to me, these 2 are both guys that were not there very long at all and accomplished a ton in a very short time. I think Rock was there less than Austin, if I remember right, as far as total years. Because, he ended up going to Hollywood. And Stone Cold only had about a 5-year run in WWE. So
but his was an injury situation.
Yeah. So without a doubt, the best match of the night, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I loved the finish, everything about it. It was good storytelling. It was a blast. The chair shot might have been my favorite moment. I'm giving this 5 Stone Cold Stunners.
This is a 5-star, huh? I'm not sure if I'm ready to give it 5, but 4.5. Chair shots to the head by a referee.
That chair shot was rough.
It's a good one, though. It was a good one.
It was a good one. Yeah. And I think it was legit. And if not, he sold it like it was. I'll tell you that. All right.
Full respect.
We made it. And now let's see. We got a pick. We got some pick'ems.
That we do.
Favorite match of the night.
I mean, I got to pick Rock Austin. I mean, I will say before we watched the main event, it might have been Triple H and Kane or X-Pac and Shot, but it's got to be the main event. My favorite match, hands down, main event.
I mean, it's the only one that even sniffed a 4.
Right.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Rated one, and without question, that is the match of the night. It was a great way to cap it off. I think this WrestleMania had a great opener and a great main event, and then the in between was just kind of, whatever. Except we hung a guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was easy.
Sure was.
Next one's gonna be easy for me too.
Worst match of the night.
All right, my worst match of the night on this WrestleMania is the Botchamania match between Sable and Tori. I don't think it's a question. It was just.
I was trying to think of another one, but yeah, it has to be Sable Tori. I agree.
It
was rough.
It was rough. Yeah, you put 2 people in there that were new to the game, and no one could really lead the other one, and they missed a bunch. And sometimes it's okay. Like we can get over botches if it's one or two, but the whole thing is like just botch after botch after botch after botch after. Yeah. See, another easy win. And we agreed on both, which is like kryptonite to Blaze. He hates it when we agree on on everything.
I don't necessarily hate it, but I like a little bit of variety.
And sometimes we can do that. But in this case, it just wasn't. If the main event wouldn't have been so great, there might have been some other choices as far as best match of the night. But I don't think worst match. None of them were outstanding, but nothing was as bad as Tori and Sable. That was not good.
No, it was pretty pretty bad, I must say.
Wow. All right. Well, we watched the pay-per-view and we picked some matches. And I owe an apology. There is something normally else, and you said something about this off air, and I totally forgot about it. Normally we rank manias, and I don't know what happened to my rankings. So
I have it.
Mine, because mine are gone. Like they were on my old phone, and when I got my new phone, that did not switch over.
Oh shoot! I do not have your rankings.
Yeah. So
I am sorry. Apparently,
we'll have to get.
I figured I trusted you to save.
Well, I thought they would have. I thought when I switched phones, that would have switched over too. But yeah, so I don't have those, and that's something I'm ranking anyway. So since I don't have them, I don't see how we can do that this time. I apologize. I'm gonna have to redo it. I actually forgot about it, to be honest. I'm so excited to record that part's in my mind. So it's okay.
Do you want me to do it?
You can do yours if you would like, yes. I don't want to do mine since I don't have them, folks, but we'll go ahead and we will let Blaze go ahead and rank his main.
WrestleMania rankings.
All right, so we're gonna go. Forgot that it loops if you don't set it differently.
Gotcha.
So my WrestleMania rankings, number 15, I got 11. 14, I have 1. 13, I have 4. 12, I have 6. 11, I have 9. And I put this at number 10. 10 is my the final match definitely saved it from being lower.
Yeah.
It was about to be pretty darn low, even though it had some. This show kind of had interesting storyline developments.
Yeah.
But not a lot of good wrestling.
It just, like we said before, it didn't feel like a Mania. Like the story tied in everything, but it just didn't feel like a Mania to me.
Yeah.
It felt like a pay-per-view, just not a WrestleMania. It didn't have that big feel like normally yet.
Agreed.
Oh, by the way, real quick before we finish, and I know it's the next thing that we're going to be doing is plugging some pluggables, but I got some breaking news while we were watching that main event that I thought I'd share real quick. Some breaking wrestling news.
I
think it's exciting. The Undertaker, aka Mark Calloway, The Undertaker is joining the WWE creative team.
Oh, okay.
He's now going to help, be in charge of, which I'm excited about because we talked about it before, and I don't know how people knew, but Undertaker was actually involved in The Fiend. The Undertaker had a big part in that whole character and development. So yeah, Undertaker has officially joined the WWE.
Makes sense. I mean, let's be honest. Who's the closest person you would compare The Fiend to?
It said Undertaker actually started doing this at Money in the Bank, and he did so well that they were like, "Hey, you got some good ideas. Do you want to join?" So yeah, he's going to be working right there with Triple H with creative now. So
well, that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, very good. All right. So time to plug some pluggables, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Start.
Sure. So it's a little easier than it was before because I managed to change our name on on a few things, but the X won't let us do it. So you can follow us at the Boomer and Blaze Show on Facebook, YouTube, Insta, and the TikToks. And then on that darn X, it's at Boomer_Blaze. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification so you get the bells when we come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Problem with the X is it's required. I only have so many characters to create a profile.
At least I got everything else to match. So we only got that one difference. Only that one different one there. So,
all right. Well, for me, you've got Dragon Blazer Productions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and you also have me on Instagram. All of it's Dragon Blazer Productions, and then on my X, I guess we'll stop calling it Twitter. It hasn't been Twitter for about 3 years now, I think.
Yeah.
But it's Dragon Blazer Pro. Essentially, as soon as I couldn't make any more characters, that's where it cuts off. Luckily, it cuts off at Pro. Dragon Blazer Pro sounds all right. Luckily, it wasn't like one more character and it became Dragon Blazer Prod.
Prod.
Be a little awkward, but yeah, it's Dragon Blazer Pro.
Yeah, exactly. Now, for those who forgot, we got to bring this back up so we can talk about next week. We just had started doing this and we're still early in it, but after any of the big pay-per-views, after any of the big four, which is SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series, we do a WCW pay-per-view, but of course right now it's still NWA. So next week, it's going to be the Great American Bash 1988, and that's going to be one of the last pay-per-views under the NWA banner because Ted Turner actually bought Jim Crockett in 88. So we're almost to WCW already.
All right.
What do you think of that, huh?
Sounds good.
Dude, it's so good to be back. Talk about a blast.
It's so good.
And if we ran a little long, just because it was our first episode back, we always try to keep it around that 2-hour mark somewhere in there. It might be a little longer, but it was a while. We had to let some, like in Scary Movie, the scene where the chick and they have the sex and shit.
Oh, God.
Our load. We had to blow our load. You know what I'm saying? We had to do it. And we did, and I thought we did a good job.
And it felt so good to blow my load with you.
We did a good job. We were on the cock. It was great. Maybe this is why we have 5 listeners. I don't know. But it's been a blast. It's great to be back. Follow us everywhere. I'm going to be way more active on the social medias as much as I can be. And we appreciate everyone who listens. Spread the word. And just don't forget, subscribe, notifications. And we are going to be back next week with the Great American Bash 1988. Anything else to add, my wonderful co-host Blaze, before we say
No, I'm excited to keep going. I have missed this. It's been over a year. We haven't recorded since last April. And all because Boomer thought he could do better for himself, and that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Never try to better yourself.
Never try to better yourself. Stick to what you want.
Unless you're bettering yourself with the podcast.
Listen, the truth is, and this is a serious. If I could be serious for a moment, like Lance Storm used to be, there's a valuable life lesson here. We all have to make money to live, but I'm sorry, happiness is more important. There's your
happiness. Happiness matters,
and that is what they mean when they say money can't buy.
Quit your jobs, everyone. The Boomer and Blaze show says, "Quit your job." For happiness.
Hey, I'm just saying that's what they mean. That's what they mean when they say money can't buy happiness.
Understood.
Because I was very well off, not rich, but I was making some good money, and I was fucking miserable. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. So, all right. Next week, 1988 Great American Bash. Until then, this has been the Boomer and Blaze show. I am Boomer.
And I'm Blaze.
And good night from Dragon Blazer Studios.